is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty, good morning. Welcome aboard. Sorry we're a tad late there. A little, I don't know, snafu, I guess, or something. Sometimes you get these curves thrown at you, and you're like, hey, what the hell is this? And so we figured it out. We are on, and we are at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, like we do it every Friday, out here having some fun. Hope you guys are doing well. I got out of, was it Craig Zinn? I was out of, what's it called, Toyota of Hollywood yesterday. I go home, and I put on gas. I put gas in the car, and I got it at $1.40. I don't know when was the last time I paid $1.40. Might have been like the 80s, somewhere in the late 80s maybe, early 90s. I don't know. Maybe even by the early 90s we were already like at $1.50. But yeah, it might have been early 90s. Yeah, something like that, late 80s. I was like, man, I was just freaking out. I was able to put, and mobile too, okay? I wasn't putting like marathon. All right, not that there's anything wrong with marathon, but you know how it is. You know, if you got the opportunity to get mobile or marathon, you know, and they're about the same price, you're gonna go with mobile, right? You know, it's just one of those things again, you know. Or the what was it, that other one that's out there, like America with a K or something. So yeah, those kind of things. So I just was freaking out. Around the country for you guys, or around the world, what are you paying for a gallon? Well, I guess if you're around the world, you're paying liters, not gallons. So that you're going to confuse the rest of us here in America, because we still stayed by that. There was that movement, wasn't it, years ago? Oh, yeah, we're going to try to make it go switch to the metric system, and we, like, never made the effort.
We were in 5th, 6th grade when they tried to do that.
It's like, screw that. We got our own system, and we're completely off the grid. We're not going with the rest of the world. Screw it, baby. We're going to stay on one track. But, yeah, I was like surprised. I was like, man, $1.40. That is so awesome. I haven't been able to fill a tank up for less than $30 in forever. And that was actually pretty fun. So we got a bunch of things to talk about today on the show, believe it or not. We got sports, we got music, we got all kinds of things to talk about on the show. Of course, as always, you can reach out to us here on the program. You guys know you can always participate. You are part of the family. Without you guys, well, you are the fabric of it all. We are just kind of like trying to put it together here for you guys every single day. You can reach out on the YouTube chat board there, where I see the folks are piling in as we speak. Of course, we got the super chat going on every single day, and appreciate all of you out there. The accidentlawfirm.com text line, and that's, of course, 786-322-1105. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. And the other way, I've also added a way for you guys to communicate, just in case you want to elaborate a little bit more. You want to send me a music video, a picture, whatever. So, some insight on something that you saw, some breaking news, whatever. You can always send it on email at orlando@bigoradioshow.com. orlando@bigoradioshow.com. That is the email. All right. I would imagine that one of the lead stories for today has to be two NFL players that are incredibly stupid human beings. Right? And, of course, I'm talking about Quentin Dunbar and DeAndre Baker, two guys that play in the NFL. One of them is a first-rounder. The other one starts for the Seattle Seahawks at cornerback. And now these guys are all facing 4 counts of armed robbery with a firearm, 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. Dunbar faces 4 counts of armed robbery with the firearm also. So apparently the players attended a private party. First of all, we're in a pandemic and they're at a party. Okay, let's just start off with the first round of stupidity. All right, let's just start with that. Okay? So, an argument ensues where Baker drew a semi-automatic firearm, according to the arrest affidavit, with Baker directing Dunbar helped collect more than $11,000 in cash, an $18,000 Rolex, a $25,000 Hublot. Is that how it's pronounced, Hublot? 17,500 Audemars Piguet watch and other valuables from the partygoers. At one point, Baker ordered another armed man in a red mask to shoot someone who walked into the party. The armed man did not comply. There are conflicting witness statements about whether Dunbar had a gun or not. Vehicles were pre-positioned to expedite an immediate exit. Baker and Dunbar lost about $70,000 2 nights earlier at a different party in Miami. Again, so it shows you that there are parties going on. Like, there are people doing really stupid things out there in the middle of a pandemic. It shows the level of stupidity. Not only you're a first-round pick, you're both NFL players. That means you should be making decent money. I get it. You're stupid because you're having parties in a pandemic. You're stupid because you're bad at gambling. And now you're incredibly stupid because now you will hold people up. Like you're going to get away with it. I mean, why the Giants and the Seahawks would even bother looking any more into this case is beyond me. Once you know that they had the guns and that they held them up, there's no reason to wait for a case. There's no reason for just let their asses go already. Cut them right now. Because all you need to confirm is that they committed the crime. You don't need to know anything else. The level of stupidity is amazing with these two guys and everybody else in that party, by the way. Because everybody's hanging out in a party, playing, and by the way, they're also gambling. So that means they're all touching chips, they're all touching cards, they're all drinking. I don't know what else they could be doing, but plenty. I just would not be surprised if you got some affected people in this group, is all I'm saying. Okay? Baker and Dunbar, as they say, lost $70,000. Baker, 22, started 15 games for the Giants. They made him the 30th overall selection in 2019. The GM Gettleman is already on the hot seat there, and people don't like him. This is not going to add that his first-round pick just got arrested a year later. Dunbar, 27, started 11 games in his 5th season in 2019. You read about this stuff, and it blows you away on how stupid these two guys are. Because these are some incredibly dumb individuals. These are guys that you look at it and you got to wonder. Here's what I wonder. How do people this stupid get this far in life? And how bad is the NFL system that they can't figure out these kind of guys too? Think about this. They get all the way to this point in their lives. And the NFL then again, the Patriots had a guy that was like killing people on his off time. Practicing during the day, killing somebody else at night. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The details here, by the way, the Giants issued a statement. Said, we are aware of the situation. We've been in contact with DeAndre. We have no further comment. Now, there are arrest warrants. Have these guys turned themselves in yet? Do we know? Because I haven't heard anything yet if they've turned themselves in. So one witness told the cops that the men were gambling again at a May 13th event when an argument broke out, and Baker allegedly flipped the table and busted out his piece. According to cops, some people at the party believed it was a planned robbery because when the three men were done taking valuables, the three getaway cars strategically positioned to expedite immediate departure, like we said. The alleged getaway cars were sick: a Lamborghini, a Mercedes-Benz, and a BMW. Okay, these guys are stupid enough to have a party during a pandemic. They're stupid enough to actually hold people up thinking that they could get away with it. And then, not only are you robbing people, you're robbing people. Usually people that rob are like poor and they need money and they need to get by. You're getting into a Lamborghini, bro. Oh, and by the way, they're at other events too. So this is not the only one, because they had lost money, a couple nights earlier. The Miramar police says warrants for the two NFL players have been issued, though neither player is currently in custody. So far, nobody in custody. I haven't heard anything yet. Cops tell us they've been in contact with reps for the suspects, and they're currently working on a planned surrender. Okay, Baker's a former Georgia Bulldog superstar. And Dunbar, meanwhile, was just traded from Washington to Seattle in March. Wait, Washington's like, man, we got rid of him just in time. Think about the level of stupidity that you got to be involved to. What makes you think you're going to get away with this? You're NFL players. Unless you are going to kill everybody at the party, somehow or another make everybody disappear, and that nobody would be able to trace where they were, and somehow get away, which is impossible, okay? And remember, if it's true, one of them already wanted to shoot somebody. So they were willing to actually make it even worse. I just hope that none of these guys get any breaks whatsoever and they go to jail for a nice long time. So they can sit in jail. They can think about pissing away their careers. They can think about how freaking stupid DeAndre Baker and Quentin Dunbar are. And maybe, Quentin should actually change his name to Dumbar. Not D-U-N, D-U-M-B-A-R. Because you are a dumb-ass mofo. Wow. In today's world, if we're in the 1800s, you might be able to get away with it. You get on your horse, you ride away, who knows? And still to that day, somebody may draw up a wanted sign for you.
You know how hard it is to get into a Lamborghini?
Make a getaway. Tell us, Bill, how tough is it since you do it every day of your life?
Yeah, right. We've done it. We've gotten into it, okay? And this is your getaway car. Going to blend in with the rest of traffic.
These guys got into getaway cars that are better than some people's houses. And they're holding people up. How can you be this stupid? So you're going to get arrested, you're going to jail, you're going to lose your career, and you're going to get COVID. Wow. I'm trying to understand any of this, and I can't understand any of this. Like, at what point does DeAndre and Quentin look at each other and say, this is a really good idea that we go in there and rob everybody? And think about it. It wasn't like a heat of the moment, it just happened type of thing that maybe, you got hot-headed, there was an argument, whatever. You pulled out a gun and you did something out of control for one moment, right? No. You talked about it, you planned it, you parked your cars, and then you did the deed. But then I'm wondering, okay, what part of the conversations were you thinking, yeah, man, this is going to be awesome? You high-fiving each other, you're dabbing each other. What are you doing celebrating it before it even happens? I'm just trying to figure it out. I can't wrap my head around that level of stupidity. I mean, look, I'm not the brightest bulb in the chandelier. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. But, I mean, there's got to be some common sense. Wow. That's a truly amazing story. When I saw that story yesterday, last night I think it was, amazing. Wow. All right, let's do a little roll call here. Flipside Fishing is in. John Rouse is in the house. Alexa V, Bro Marshmelly, Samuel Jean from Las Vegas. Nice. Tom A. Is it Gene or John? Because I got a buddy of mine that spells it Gene, but we have to call him John. So you tell me, Samuel Gene or Samuel John? How do you pronounce that, Samuel, out in Las Vegas? Tom A., Matthew Walker, Mark Rodriguez says, Big O, thanks for helping my day go a bit smoother. Go Fins for life. Thank you, Mark, for tuning in, man. I mean, that's half the battle, my brother. So I appreciate it, and I'm flattered that all of you are tuning in and supporting the show however it is that you do, man. I love all of you for doing that. Tom A. says, man, we are in a 2.26 in Batavia, New York. What is, 226, the gas. Really? Wow, dude. That's expensive compared to 140. Holy moly, Tom. Why hasn't it gone down in Batavia? You would figure gas would be down pretty much everywhere. Damn, Tom, that's not fair, dude. Ian from Brooklyn, it's Friday. You ain't got no job. We gonna get. What's up, Big O and Bill? Thank you, Ian from Brooklyn. Alex Toledo, Troy Ortiz. Call of Duty 1 says New Jersey is paying $205 technically. It should be $165, but thanks to our communist governor and his gas tax. Wow, really? That's brutal. Man of 1,005 holes is chiming in. Poor Giants can never catch a break. They traded up for Baker, and he's a huge criminal. Laughing my ass off. I mean, Gettleman has got to be like he woke up with a case of kaopectate. Richard McLean says, good morning, Big O. Awesome shirt. Going old school today. Saw Boston and Miami baseball stadium with Poco Doobie Brothers. Yeah, well, we talked about that yesterday. Yes, definitely. Side Nadik, will they catch them? Why taking so long? Because of NFL. Well, they're hiding somewhere. Those guys can't hide very long. They might think, DeAndre Baker and Quinn Dunbar might think they can hide because they're kind of stupid. But, they'll be found really quickly. Their agents are like really saying, like, guys, what are you doing? What are you doing?
They're in the Lamborghini in an alley.
Yeah.
Nobody can notice them.
Exactly. Uber Beaner says, morons, they probably both have brain damage from football. You never know. Mike Gomez, of course, all these crazy things happen in South Florida. Guns, card games, armed robberies, athletes or not. Sounds like an episode of Sopranos. There you go. King Short is in the house. So many are in the house. Thank you all out there. Josh says, good morning, Owen, Bill, and everybody. CTE is real. Look what happens with Aaron Hernandez. Let's see. What else do we have here? Dumb bar. Nice. Yes. Thank you, King Short. Yes. Gotta play off of it a little bit. Gotta have a little fun with it. I mean, they're going to be stupid about it. I gotta laugh, But you drive a Lambo and you're robbing people. Come on, bro. What up, Big O? What I don't understand is how these guys are so stupid. They have everything, and then they do something so ridiculous. I'm with you, Samuel. I'm with you, my brother. Pat in Asheville says, how many of you had to move your Amazon Echo because of Big O calling out Alexa V? Oh, really? So when I call her name, it fires off your thing. How about that? Alexa, you got to feel good. You're turning them all on. Again, got to play with the words. Anyway, so that is funny. That is funny. I mean, my watch is constantly turning on and like starting to pick up everything I'm saying and all that. If you have one of these Apple Watches, you know what I'm talking about. So it happens all the time with my watch. So I did not realize that. Wow. How about that? Your impact, Alexa, is enormous. Alexa, play Boston, Peace of Mind. Alexa, turn off the lights.
Alexa, find Lamborghini and Alley.
Yes. Alexa, buy Pat in Asheville a Lamborghini. I can't do that. All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. That is awesome, dude. That is awesome, Pat in Asheville. That is fantastic. I'm loving that. You know what you should do, Pat in Asheville? If it happens again, you should film that and then post it on our Twitter page at Big O Show. I would just love to see that we're actually firing it off because that would be really, really, really funny. Alex Diaz says, well, Big O, you know what they say when you can't take them out of the okay, I get it. I get it. Yeah, these are guys that obviously they never grew up and they were punks from the get-go, and now you hand them money and they're just punks with money. That's all it is. So, yes, Alex, I get what you're saying, and I understand your point. Yeah, no doubt. I still can't get over the Alexa stuff. That is funny. Dave Pridham says, Dave, Ottawa, Canada. Damn, out there in Ottawa, Canada. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you listening out in Canada. Very nice of all of you out there, man, chiming in all around the world, tuning into the show. Very, very kind of all of you out there to do that. So we got the Quinn Dunbar, DeAndre Baker story, which is one that is very, 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 very disturbing and just, I don't know, twisted in every way possible to see that kind of stupidity. It's the kind of stuff that blows you away. 786-322-1105 on the accidentlawfirm.com text line if you want to get in on the very active accidentlawfirm.com text line. Gas in Issaquah, Washington is still $2.69. Did I pronounce it right? Issaquah, Washington? I've never even heard of the city or county called Issaquah, Washington. You might be even playing a joke on me. Now, is this like, I would imagine this is the state of Washington, right? Issaquah, Washington, doesn't sound Washington, D.C.-ish. So it's got to be Washington, the state, obviously. So Issaquah in Washington is $2.69. That's awesome. Big O, love the shirt. It's a symbol of this season. Don't look back. Long time. More than a feeling and peace of mind. Have a great weekend. Enjoying your show, Tom, in Seattle. Okay, so yeah, there you go. Seattle, Washington. Okay. Issaquah. Oh, never heard of that. All right, so Issaquah then sounds like the county. Is that what it is? It's Issaquah County. So Seattle is in Issaquah County. Is that what it is? You gotta help me out with that one. Send me back another text there, Tom, and fill us in there. Let me see. It's a city near Seattle. Oh, okay. So Issaquah is a city near Seattle. Nice, but still, that's not fair. You guys are paying too much for gas, man. Way too much for gas. That's not cool.
Yeah, I mean, what was it, 3-4 weeks ago, a 55-gallon barrel was $37, right?
Yeah, no, it's just, no, it's wrong, man. It's wrong. It's wrong. We gotta fix this for some of the folks out there, man. You know? David says, vintage 76 Boston tee. Well, it's a vintage 76 cover, but it's from the 2012 tour. So it's only 8 years old, okay? I do have one from the 70s, but I can't wear that one because it's too small. I don't
would fit a kid in junior high?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to fit a kid in, elementary, actually. Like, I think I was like in 6th grade. When I 6th or 7th grade, it might have been my first year junior high or my last year in elementary. Remember, for me, elementary is 6th grade. I get it. Some of you youngins out there, 6th to 8th is your middle school, junior high for us. But for junior high for us was 7 to 9. In our high schools, we had no freshmen. It was 10, 11, and 12. That's it. That's how normal public schools were here in South Florida back in the day. Okay, so just in case, because that's always a confusing thing for different generations.
Unless you went to
private school.
Unless you went to Pace.
Right, private schools were different.
That's why 9th was there after St. John's and transferred to.
But public schools were never like that. So public schools were all, the same in South Florida. That's how you were raised, that it was just, junior high was junior high, 7 through 9, not 5 through, or 6 through 8, I'm sorry, is how it is nowadays. There we go. All right, so just way too much gas you guys are paying in some of these spots. That's crazy, man. Let's see, what else do we have? Third Stage is an underrated album. I agree with you so much on that. Cool the Engines is one of my favorite songs. I love that album. I'm with you. I know that the original is a masterpiece and Don't Look Back is another masterpiece, but Third Stage, I completely agree with you. It is absolutely underrated. No doubt. Great, great album. All right, let's do this. Let's take a really quick break, okay? 2 minutes here. Don't forget that Murias Dental is a proud sponsor of our program. Call Eric Murias right now. If you're in pain, we don't want you being in pain. You're stuck in quarantine and you're dealing with a cavity. You need a root canal. Call Murias Dental. You need some emergency work right now. They'll take care of you. 305-821-0231. When everything gets back to normal.
Are you tired of watching?
You're looking to fix your teeth. Call them, 305-821-0231. Follow them on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Murias Dental. And go to the website. Tell them that Big O sent you, MuriasDental.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
right, we back. Hope everybody's doing well out there. We take you till 2. We're out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. We'll take you till 2 o'clock, and we'll have some fun as we always do. Plenty of things to talk about. Did you see James Harrison? That is a very interesting story. He was fined $75,000 for hitting Mohamed Massaquoi, and it was a nasty hit back in the day. And that was in the era where the CTE started to really come to the forefront, and the NFL was trying to really press down on players to stay away from the dirty hits. And obviously Harrison was involved in several dirty hits, questionable, however you want to do it. So Tomlin was fined $75,000 by the league. Now he was on a podcast, and he was explaining what happened in that situation with the fine and the experience and his experience after the fine. Listen here.
The most you've ever been fined in one game?
One game was 75.
Ooh, is that the Massaquoi hit?
Yeah. Dude, how you gonna find me setting for the dude? Oh, listen. Listen. Everything I love on my daddy's grave, I hit that man with about max 50% of what I had, and I just hit him because I wanted him to let loose of the ball. If I had knew they was going to find me $75,000, I would have tried to kill him. Dude, I'm telling you.
Right.
75?
And people
and I ain't gonna lie to you. But that happened, right? And the G's thing Mike Tomlin ever did, he handed me an envelope after that. I ain't gonna say what, but he handed me an envelope after that.
So he is insinuating, James Harrison does understand that by saying he handed him the envelope, he's saying that Mike Tomlin gave him $75,000 to cover for the fine. Now, this is a myth that we have talked about forever in sports. That, he won't pay that fine. The owner will give him the money. Somebody will give him the money. We have said that forever. This is the first time that myth and reality actually collide. Because that conversation, we've all had it. And we've all said, now, come on, dude. If he's doing this for a reason and he knows he's going to get fined and they're all right with it and the team really isn't well, they got to be covering the fine, right? And this is the first time we hear of this. Now, I know Art Rooney came out and issued a statement, says, I'm very certain nothing like this ever happened. What else is he going to say, right? Sean Payton, by the way, bounty gate, suspensions, all kinds of stuff. Well, he was on 105.7 The Fan and says, I would be shocked, okay, if the league looked into it. That'll be something that'll be tucked away under the rug at Park Avenue. They'll look into it briefly. Listen, don't get me started on that. I lost $6 million in salary, and honestly, it was something that I'll never truly get over because I know how it was handled and how it was run and the reasons behind it. That's just the truth. So, Sean Payton's already bitter about this stuff. Okay, I mean, the Saints should be about the most bitter organization out of all of this because they've had so many different shady things happen to them. On the negative side, although Bountygate, they kind of brought it on themselves because you brought on that coach. So you kind of earned it. But whatever. The point is, James Harrison just ratted out Mike Tomlin. James Harrison, what he did now, because remember, this is precedent. So by him doing this now, other owners, coaches, anybody else that wants to cover a fine may not cover it anymore now. They say that what happens in the locker room is supposed to stay in the locker room, right? Isn't that what players tell us all the time? Isn't that what coaches tell us? Well, we're going to handle it inside. We're going to talk to each other inside. Well, no, that's a family matter. We're going to talk about it. Well, Mike Tomlin came to you, James Harrison, as a family, okay? and telling you, hey, we're behind you, man. We get you. You played the game the right way. We feel that was borderline. We got your back. Here's $75,000. You're supposed to reward Mike Tomlin by keeping your mouth shut, James Harrison. I get it, bro. You're away from the game, but Mike isn't. You're away from the game. The Rooneys aren't. You're away from the game. The Steelers are still in the game. Now, I don't know if Kevin Colbert or Mike Tomlin or you didn't end things well with them. Doesn't sound like it because you just said that was the most G thing Mike Tomlin has ever done. So if he's a G, then why are you a stool pigeon, bro? If he's a G, why are you being such a bitch, James Harrison? Why are you opening your mouth, dude? Why are you ratting out a guy that helped you? So you can't complain about $75,000 you didn't pay for. So, James Harrison, you can't sit there and say, oh, most I got fined was $75,000. You can't bitch about it anymore. You can say, hey, most I got, yeah, 75. Yeah, no big deal. We paid it, whatever. Part of the game. Move on. Water under the, don't elaborate. Don't go into, oh, I'm not going to, hey, you know, and I think he's telling the truth. I don't think he's lying, actually. I think Art Rooney's lying. Or better yet, I think Art Rooney's naive and doesn't know it went on. Mike Tomlin will be lying soon if he goes out and denies it. Because that's the way I feel that this really happened now. But what I also feel is, James, dude, you screwed Mike Tomlin, bro. And Mike Tomlin's got to be sitting back smoking a cigar going, you mean I gave this guy $75,000 to make him feel better about that hit, that he's not losing his money, the company's taking care of it, okay? And he's now going to rat me out and the team? And Mike, by the way, may have to fall on the sword here for the team. Because even if the Steelers gave him the money and then he went to James Harrison, now Mike Tomlin has to take and bite the bullet and lie on the sword. And bet your ass that Mike Tomlin will do what James Harrison won't do. Lie on the sword. Mike Tomlin will not say, the Rooneys gave me the money so I can give it to Harrison. He's not that bitch. I'm just saying, look, I know James Harrison can crush me with one leg. But I got to call it like I see it. James, that was a bitch move. Okay? You ratted out the dude that helped you. To me, that's the most egregious thing of all of this. The Steelers were showing you love. Tomlin was showing you love. They were supporting you. You have no right to get mad at that $75,000 fine. In fact, you should have told that interviewer there that you should have said, yeah, I got fined $75,000. I deserved it, man. You know, I knocked the crap out of this kid, and they fined me, and I had to pay it. What'd you feel about paying it? What can I do, man? It's part of the game. It sucks. I hate losing 75, but I did. And that's it. Leave it that way. Don't be disgusted by it because you got no reason to be disgusted by it. You don't need to hit them with all you have and would have killed them because they paid the fine for you. They allowed you an illegal hit on the house. And you repaid the Steelers and Mike Tomlin by ratting their asses out. Very uncool. James Harrison, I hope you are picking up the phone today. I pray you are calling Mike. No, you know what, James Harrison? You need to fly over to Mike Tomlin's house and stay about 6 to 10 feet away with a mask, okay? And apologize face to face to that man. And apologize like you mean it, James Harrison. Because what you did to Mike Tomlin is inexcusable. And I get it. You got caught up in the emotion and you wanted to be cute and you wanted to tell an inside story and all that. But you got to think a little bit more because you were getting somebody else in trouble in a big-time way. And now Mike Tomlin is taking a little bit to answer to this because he's got to check with his agent. He's got to check with the team. He's got to make sure he gets his ducks aligned before he comes out in public and says whatever story he's going to give us. Okay? When he sits down there and starts telling us that he didn't give him the hey, man, I just gave him a thank you note or whatever, it's going to be the same thing as Bill Clinton looking at me telling me, oh, guys, I didn't inhale when I took a toke of that joint. No. Okay? You have put that guy in a terrible position. That's all I got to say, James Harrison. Screwed up, dude. Not cool. Richard says Harrison is smoking too much dope. You could be right. Alex says, well, I don't believe Harrison, but either way, it still puts Tomlin in a horrible position. Alexa says he couldn't keep his mouth shut. Doesn't Harrison live in South Florida? I don't know if he does or not, but he needs to fly to Pittsburgh. Okay? All I know is he needs to go apologize to Mike Tomlin because Mike Tomlin was being a G. Okay? Let's get that straight. He's right about that. That was a G move by Mike Tomlin, and it's a myth that we've all been carrying forever. We've all said it. At one point or another, when we see somebody with a fine, don't worry about it. Team will cover that. They'll never pay that fine. And now we finally got proof that it does happen. Very uncool, man. Very uncool. By the way, saying he would have gotten his money's worth shows how dirty of a player he was. But then again, it would have been Tomlin's money's worth. Exactly. Well, no, I don't even believe it was Tomlin's money. I believe it's the Steelers' money. There's no doubt in my mind that came from above Tomlin. No doubt in my mind. But Tomlin will never say because Tomlin is a G. He's not gonna rat his team out. Tomlin may have to absorb the fine. He may have to take blame. He may have to be the lightning rod of the whole thing because of James Harrison, dude, just so he can get the Rooneys and the team out of it. Seriously, because if he absorbs it all, then the team cannot be, whatever fines or draft picks or whatever. And then whatever they fine Tomlin, guess who's paying it anyway? James Harrison. Anyway, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in. Clarence Collins says, Big O, remember Harrison left Pittsburgh and went to the Patriots. He was upset he wasn't playing in his comments. He's probably telling the truth. That's worse than snitching, the flat-out hoe crap. Yeah, but you might be right. Okay, Clarence, you might be 1,000% right. But the moment he says that the most G thing Tomlin ever did, that tells me he doesn't really have anything against Tomlin. Maybe it was a Kevin Colbert move that they parted ways with Harrison, and maybe it wasn't a Tomlin move. But I just don't like the fact that you put your coach, who apparently was doing something super freaking cool, by the way, okay? Let me be on the record on that, okay? If your company's going to back you up and pay that fine, that's freaking awesome, man. You know how the Panthers are covering their employees through the pandemic? That's freaking awesome. That kind of that's the kind of awesome I'm talking about. I find that really cool on behalf of the employer. You know, they're backing their people. And that's cool. But you can't repay Tomlin by ratting his ass out. You know what? If they were both 75 years old and they were, close to the end of their lives and they were both old men and football was way past them 30 years later and they both wanted to talk about it, at that point when they're 30 years removed from the game or something, okay. Whatever. Both. I'm saying they're both in on it. But Harrison cannot do what he did to Mike. He can't, man. You just can't do that kind of stuff. The poor guy has now got to answer to all that. Mike Tomlin, bro, has got to deal with Le'Veon Bell and all kinds of crazy stuff. Got to deal with Antonio Brown.
Video in the locker room.
Everything. All kinds of stuff with AB. Apparently there were way more things. Ben Roethlisberger's a bitch. This guy deals with all kinds of crazy ass stuff behind the scenes. I used to think Tomlin was kind of losing it a little bit with the Steelers. I'm now at a point where the dude's a magician just to be able to keep all this crap afloat. I mean, how Mike Tomlin was able to control Antonio Brown for a couple of years before Antonio Brown finally just imploded completely is amazing. It really is. It's impressive. And this is how you reward the guy? The guy that clearly does a great job of backing his players, covering for his players, somehow or another finding a way to keep players on the field, because obviously Antonio Brown was doing a lot of stupid-ass crap, and they were somehow finding a way to keep him on the field and productive. I tell you, man, it's the other way around. I was wrong. That guy becomes more and more impressive either way.
Peyton got suspended for a year, right?
Huh?
Peyton got suspended for a year, right?
$6 million, he said, yeah.
Is that what we're looking at here?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea. Clarence says, I agree, but saying Tomlin gave him an envelope is devastating. That's at least an investigation. Terrible. He wants to hurt the organization. You know what, Clarence? You could be right. And maybe that's what he wants to do is hurt the organization. You know what I mean? Why would you do something like that? Gallego says, Big O, do you think it would affect him getting into the Hall of Fame? No. He'll get into the Hall either way. That has nothing to do with it, bro. Polo says, what's up, Big O? What's up, Polo? Thank you for chiming in here on the program. All right, let me tell you, we are out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines, like we are every Friday, like we've been for 10 years. Except, the first 9 years, we were doing it every month. Now we do it every week, every Friday out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. And we're at 15601 Pines Boulevard. Remember, if you're a first responder, $750 off. If you're military, $750 off. If you're a graduate, $500 off. So come on down. Take advantage. Got some great deals going on right now at Craig Zinn's. When you look at the ILX, $239 a month. The TLX, $279. The RDX, $379. The MDX, $409. Only $29.99 do it signing, plus tax tag and registration, folks. Tell them that Big O sent you. And don't forget, you can also call and order your car on the phone. Absolutely. And you can make all of the arrangements on the phone. You don't have to be here. I know buying a car, then you got to deal with people, although everybody's got a mask and everything. But you're here for a couple of hours, right? You could be at home and you don't have to wait, and they'll drive up the car right to your house. A lot of people are doing that now. So come on down, check it out for yourself at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We back. We take it till 2 if you want to get in. Many ways to reach out to us on email, orlando@bigoradioshow.com, on the YouTube chat board, on the super chat there on YouTube. We've got also Twitter @BigOShow, the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. So there are many ways to reach out to us here on the program as we take you till 2 o'clock. It's a beautiful thing, man. On a beautiful Friday. Make sure you all out there, if you're driving, be safe, okay? Because we got the streets are a little wet out there. Bill was calling me in the morning like, damn, dude, it's a deluge. And I said, well, we're rocking either way because the beauty is we're under roof. And, the good thing for us, Bill, is that there's no humidity right now. So we didn't even whip out the fans for today.
What do you mean there's no? You don't feel how thick it is?
Well, yeah, but
do
still,
you see how wet your papers are?
Yeah, but there's a little breeze, is what I'm saying. It's not.
Oh no,
heat.
it could be worse.
Yeah,
but you could definitely feel it is summertime.
Got to look at the bright side. It's not. It could be a lot worse, bro. It's pretty comfortable.
It is summertime. Yes.
Yes. But I didn't even whip out the damn fans that we normally have when it's hot and sticky out here. So that's the good part. All right. So let me see what we got here on the text line, on the Twitter, all kinds of good stuff since we're all always interactive here on the program. Not only that, our sales tax is 10.5%. Try adding that when you make your purchase for a car. Wow. In Seattle, 10.5%. That's crazy. Jesse in Minneapolis says early 80s high school in a Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino, doobie down, blaring Boston. Good times, good times. There you go. So you were in a Gran Torino jamming a little Boston and a doobie. All right. So you were having some fun.
But not just the Gran Torino, a Starsky and
Hutch Gran Torino, right? I've had that conversation in the past on our shows. That, like, what vehicle you always wanted when you were watching television, and there's the Batmobile, there's the Addams Family mobile, the Green Hornet, what was it called, the Green Hornet? What was the name of the black car? It was called the Black Beauty, I think it was called, actually. I think it was called the Black Beauty. We've always had that conversation, and the Starsky and Hutch, the General E. Lee from the Dukes of Hazzards, things like that. A Knight Rider. We've had that conversation in the past where people chimed in, and the Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino was always one. It was the Black Beauty. There you go.
Good shot.
I don't know. You remember stupid things. It's ridiculous. But anyway, and the Black Beauty was cool because it was the Continental with the suicide doors, and then it had the headlights that flipped.
We knew firsthand you could run into a house and walk away unscathed.
Yes, we've tested Gran Torinos in homes in the past. Yes, and it worked. Yes, that's the way it goes. No doubt about that. All right.
How often can you say that and it be true?
Yeah, I know. No, you're right. You're right. King Short says, Black Beauty, we're nice. Super Boom Shack says, El Camino. There you go. Polo chiming in, Opalaka, baby. So he's in Opalaka. They got a nice, what's it called, where they sell IPAs. What's the name of those kind of bars? Where they have all the types of beers. What's those kind of bars that are called? They're not called. The IPA is the bar, but I mean the beer. But what are those things? Come on, man, give me the damn thing. I'm brain farting right now. Damn. Somebody will come up with it on the chat board.
There used to be breweries, but no.
Yeah, it's some kind of brewery type crap like that. They've got a nice one there in Opalaka. I had a Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino. It was yellow, and it was called the Chicken. Remember 8-Track, you needed a book of matches at the bottom to keep it going. The worst part about the 8-Track was that if you wanted a specific song, you had to go 3 quadrants down and wait till that last quadrant was finished so it would go back up to the next quadrant that had that first song that you wanted. That was the worst part. So if you didn't like that last the last couple songs in that, second quadrant to go to the third quadrant, you had to listen to the entire second quadrant to get to the third quadrant. That's what I always remember about 8-Tracks. That was kind of a pain in the ass.
If you had an 8-Track, when they came out with that little disc thing that you would be able to drop your cassette into and play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that was always a positive when you're able to do something like that. I love it.
An apparatus to get to the next music.
Yeah. No, you're right. G-Trap Hewitt chiming in on Twitter. He got a mask, a dolphin mask with the old logo. Nice. Very nice. I like it. I've been looking for one. I actually found a Canes one. And I think I'm going to get that one. I got my Iron Maiden one. I'm waiting for my Iron Maiden mask to get here. That will be the one that I will use whenever I travel and go to concerts, things like that. But a dolphin one I need with the old logo. I see them all over the place with the new logo. I wouldn't be caught dead with that new logo on. Okay? Miami Miracle says, do you think we get Logan Ryan? If so, do we keep Howard? Yeah, why wouldn't you keep Howard? Miami Miracle, you probably are kind of new to it and you haven't listened to the show every day or listened to some of the old podcasts. And we're on every day at 11, so you'll know. And everything is podcasted after, so you can go back and listen to it, and it's all broken down into different segments. I had a segment on talking about X. And I mentioned that X is untradeable right now. You can trade him, but you're going to get very little for him in return right now. He's coming off an arrest for domestic violence. Okay? And even though charges are going to be dropped, he's going to end up, getting away with whatever he did or whatever. And then he's also coming off a knee surgery. Okay? You need to get X back on the field, playing at a Pro Bowl level, and a year of not getting in trouble. Then, next year, if Noah develops, the kid they drafted out of Auburn, some of my guys that are, scouts in the NFL believe that Noah eventually becomes an outside boundary corner, a starter. So if they feel that, then that tells me that Miami is adding depth, adding a guy that can play inside and out in Noah, because he's got the hips to play in the slot, and he's got the ability to play outside, but he's still green. So that tells me that they're using foresight, and they're saying, okay, let's develop this kid, and if he does develop, then next year we have the luxury that if we feel like moving X, and he has a good year, he has 6 interceptions, plays well, goes to the Pro Bowl, all of that. We can now trade him, get his value in return, which would be a first rounder who he is a second rounder, and you can get a first rounder or more from a team, and you can get that salary off, and then you go and draft another one. Now, before you get crazy on me and say, well, how do you get rid of a good corner? Just remember, okay, the guy that drafted X is the guy that's getting rid of him and trading him. The guy, and if this happens, it's because Noah's playing well. And if Noah's playing well, who drafted him also? The same guy. Okay? And if Byron Jones is playing well, it's the same guy. Right? It's the same guy that found Nick Needham. Right? So it's the same guy that signs Bobby McCain a year out. Things that Mike Tannenbaum and others did not do. Same guy, Chris Greer. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if Noah's playing well and X returns to form, and you move X, and you move in Noah, because now I don't have to pay Noah for 3 more years because he's a first rounder. Get my drift? That's how you work the cap. And then you go and draft another guy. So all of a sudden now, you've got 2 corners, okay? Byron will be your starter. Noah will be your starter in year 2, and you add a rookie to play the slot again. And now you don't have to pay this corner for 3 more years, and you don't have to pay this one for 4 or 5. I don't know whether you get him in the first or second rounds. You playing the game now? So that's why trading X now is dumb, because you'll be giving him away. Those are the things that Mike Tannenbaum would do. Trade somebody when the stock is down and it has no value. You don't do that. You wait till the stock rises again, then you move it. And so that's what you do. And again, they may not move him at all. X may come to form, and Noah's playing well, and Byron Jones is playing well, and you know what they want to do? They want to keep all 3 in place. And they want to have a great secondary for the next year or 2 because they want to contend. Remember, the flip side of all of this, you have to balance a couple of things that you're trying to do. Let me explain. Tua probably won't play a lot this year. If he plays, like I told you, it'll be in the second half of the season. It'll be in the latter part of the season. They'll be either mathematically ineligible for the playoffs, and the offensive line has to play well. If the offensive line is not playing well at any time throughout the year, they're not going to play Tua. It just doesn't make any sense. Okay? Maybe you play him in week 15 or 16 or 17 just to get a couple games in, and then next year, when he's fully healthy and ready to go, you unleash him, okay? This year, he had a surgery in late November. It's a hip surgery. He's got to take hits there. Moving around and throwing the ball is different than taking a hit from a 280-pound, 330-pound man. So he needs to be healthy, and you need to give him almost a year of really rehabbing that thing. Here's the trick, ladies and gentlemen. You just saw Kansas City achieve that trick. You saw Seattle achieve it a few years back, okay? Because it becomes that much harder after you have to pay the quarterback. So, years 2, 3, and 4 for Tua, that's your window to create a Super Bowl caliber team. So, what I mean by with those corners when you've got to move them, if your team is trending in that way and you've got depth, you might be able to move X and bring in another guy. But if you feel that you're championship caliber in years 3 and 4 down the line, and you want to take advantage of that window for Tua before you have to pay him, then you keep X and you play at that elite level with all 3 guys, hopefully, okay? Because you have to balance that out. How close are we to a title? Okay, we're not that close. We can get rid of X and draft another guy and develop him. We're really close. Let's keep X. Let's keep the experience. Let's keep the lockdown guy. Let's keep a franchise player in. Okay? So that's how you have to balance this thing. There's a lot of when you're playing general manager, you have to think of the now, you have to think of the future, and you have to think of the salary cap. And you have to be able to balance everything, Because if you keep X's salary on for a long period of time, remember, what did I tell you? You're going to have to pay Tua. You're going to have to pay all these other guys. Jackson, that you drafted at left tackle down the line. If Robert Hunt turns into a right tackle, you're going to have to pay him. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really important that you learn where to unload certain players and reload in certain areas. So if you are successful moving these corners around, and these guys figured out Eric Rowe can cover tight ends. These guys put Bobby McCain at free safety. These guys have Bobby McCain if they want to move him back to slot. These guys found Nick Needham. So maybe they feel good with corners and they know how to move them in and out. So these are all the little things. This is the argument that I got in with several people about Ndamukong Suh. Because the average fan just thinks, oh, we got Ndamukong Suh. He's a hell of a player. Our defense is going to be monstrous. And then I'm the guy saying, no, you're not. Because look at your team. It's not a monstrous team. He's not a one-man wrecking crew. And his salary does not help you because you're paying him like a quarterback. And you cannot do that because eventually you will have to pay a quarterback. And then what happens to your cap? You're going to carry two quarterbacks? You can't do that. And that's why I had the many arguments, like with my boy Joe Rose. And why? Because he was playing Joe Fan. And that's why it ended up looking silly for a lot of people, thinking that Ndamukong Suh was the panacea. And no, he wasn't. He was a disease for your team. Not because he's a bad player. It's because financially, he was never going to produce what you're paying him. And then he was going to also stop you from getting better in other areas because you have to pay him. And then what would Mike Tannenbaum do? He would worsen the situation by what? Guaranteeing more money into Suh's contract and moving more of the cash into the present and then putting that credit card statement in the back. That's why the final two, when he was gone, the last 2 years, you had an $18 and $13 million cap hits from Ndamukong Suh. Dead cap money that you could not use. 1 year, your cap's missing $18 million because of Suh not being on your team. The other year, it's $13 million missing from your cap because Suh's not on your team because you kept guaranteeing money. These are the stupid cycles that these guys got out of now. So when I tell you the whole X thing, it's complicated, and there are multiple levels to it financially, and there are multiple levels to it on a winning side because you don't know what stage your team is in. So then that will determine whether, oh, no, we need to keep him right now because we are a contender. You know what? We're 2 years away. We can move him. Understand? Okay, so that's my long explanation for the whole X thing. I like the idea of signing Ryan. He could play inside or outside while Noah develops. Need 18 starter type players on defense like New England for versatility and formations. I agree. I got no problem with that. I love them going after Logan Ryan because it's not going to be a long-term deal either. That's all. I don't get it why we are looking at Logan Ryan. Someone's got to be the odd man out. No, nobody's got to be the odd man out, dude. No. Do you understand that in this league, your nickel, plays about 70% of the time. So basically, he's the third starter. So that means your dime package is also going to happen quite a bit. They pass a lot in this league. We're not in the 90s. They're not running the ball. This isn't the Cowboys. This isn't the Giants, Mark Bavaro and company, and Emmitt Smith. And that's not what we're doing in the NFL today. In the NFL today, it's 3-4 wides. It's athletic tight ends. It's explosive players. It's explosive plays. It's chunk plays. You need corners. And if you think having just enough to start is enough, you're wrong. So you need depth. You need competition. So you know who might be the odd man out? Codrea Tankersley might be the odd man out. The guy that's trying to fight for like the last spot. That's what I'm talking about. And you should be really happy that this team is looking to add the depth They have the cap space. It's money that's going to go by the wayside anyways if they don't use it. It'll just be dead space there. They've already hit their floor, but they haven't hit their ceiling. And it's, again, like I told you, the Logan Ryan deal will be just like the Van Noy deal. Within 2 years, they can get out of it. So it's not a long-term type thing. It's when they have a lot of flexibility over the next couple of years. It's a smart move. Trust me.
There is no such thing as too much, guys, coverage.
Especially
coverage.
corners.
Yeah.
Pass rushers or corners, you can't have enough, dude.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
They signed 3 of them in free agency, and they went and drafted a few more, and then brought another couple in street free agency. You can't have enough because you just don't know how many you're going to develop, and those are priceless things to have.
Your safeties need to be able to cover in today's football.
And in this system, too.
And I don't understand why more teams don't take corners and turn them into safety. Carnell Lake back in the day, remember?
Well, you got to have the skill set. That's why Carnell Lake was good.
No.
Because Carnell Lake was gifted enough.
A beast.
Right. Well,
all pro in both positions 1 year to the next.
Not everybody can play in space. Just because you can play on an island doesn't mean you can play in space because of it's just a different way of reading and anticipating. And if you don't have
if you step the wrong way, one step, that guy 3-4 and bye.
Right. Ronnie Lott could do it. Woodson can do it. Carnell Lake can do it. So it takes a real elite player. Woodson did it also. He played corner and safety. Charles Woodson. Notice all those names.
Yes.
Those are all Hall of Famers.
Elite.
So Hall of Famers. So it takes a special dude to be, and we're talking like you didn't just move to safety like Eric Rowe, that they're using him specifically to cover tight ends. No. You went to safety and you're running the show, dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it's a whole different ballgame.
This half of the field is yours.
Right. Big O, several people on the board have mentioned Cam Wake. Is he a Hall of Famer? Do you see the Dolphins getting serious consideration? No, I don't think he gets into the Hall of Fame. No, I don't. I think Zach gets in there before he does. Think about it. What's hurting Zach is that the Dolphins did nothing during his tenure. Because they didn't win a lot, and they went only to a couple playoffs, and they were terrible in the playoffs and during that time. None of the coaches could ever do anything good. That's hurt him. That's what may stop Zach from actually getting in the Hall. Cam Wake's teams were way worse than Zach Thomas's teams. Like Cam Wake's teams never made the playoffs. I think in his career he made it like once, maybe twice. I don't know. Was he here 08? Or I think he got maybe. Maybe he did 08 and 16, maybe twice. That's it. That's bad, man. And it's not his fault. I'm just saying it's not gonna help him. It's not gonna help him. I would say he doesn't get into the Hall of Fame. Not because I don't want him in the Hall. I'm just saying. You ask me, I don't think he's in. Dolphin says it's not necessarily the amount of DBs, it's the amount of money that's tied up in them, especially if Logan Ryan wants 10. Again, it's money that's not here for a long time. If he wants 10, he's not getting a ton up, delayed. It'll all be up front, and they'll be able to get out of it right away. Matthew Walker says people seriously need to raise their standards for Hall of Fame. Wake should be in the Dolphin Ring of Honor, but not Hall of Fame. Exactly. You're right. He's probably not a Hall of Fame player anyway. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. If Bob Kuchenberg is not in the Hall of Fame, Zach will not get in. You know, it's hard to argue with that statement there. There's a lot of logic behind that statement about Cooch. So that would make a lot of sense. I can't argue that one because Cooch was a beast. All right, let's do this. We got to tell you a little bit about EJD Construction. Eric does a phenomenal job, man. I've been telling you about Eric for a while now. Call him 305-318-4978. And I'm not talking about, a handyman. I'm talking about custom home construction. I'm talking about major home remodeling. You want to add a deck out to your patio. You're looking to, build some kind of a tiki hut or some kind of a hut back there for barbecuing. You want to add an addition to the house. You want to grow that man cave and do all kinds of funky stuff to it. Maybe you want the TV coming out from the roof. And that's why I'm telling you, you got to call EJD Construction. They do it all. Front yard, backyard, you name it. Whatever you need to get done, they are as creative as it gets. Great communication with you, the customer, and the architect. That way, whatever you're designing in your mind, it comes to fruition. Thanks to the great people at EJD Construction. Call Eric right now. They're COVID-19 ready. They use gloves and masks and all other OSHA requirements. They arrive for their sales appointments with masks and gloves as well. And first responders get developers rates. So call them, 305-318-4978. Tell them that Big O sent you. Eric will take care of you at EJD Construction.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right, we ready?
This is the Big O
We
Show.
take you, of course, till 2 o'clock. We're out here at Craig Zinn's, Acura of Pembroke Pines. We're out here every Friday, man. Come on out here and say hi. We would love to meet you. A little distance, of course. You got to keep your distance. You know what I'm saying? But as long as we do that, that's fine. Quentin Dunbar, we don't want you around here. Okay? Because obviously you're DeAndre Baker. You two are way too stupid. Those guys are at parties and they're robbing people. I mean, it really is amazing. I do want to thank Megan the Stallion because, you know, she's been very entertaining on social media. And she continues her fine entertainment. I don't know if you guys saw her latest post. as she was drinking a little alcohol in her string bikini. There you go. I don't know if you guys are Megan Thee Stallion fans, but just want to thank her for, entertainment purposes. And I'm sure plenty of you out there are enjoying the entertainment that she's bringing to the table. I don't know if you saw that Megan Thee Stallion video, but she's got some skills. That's all I got to say. You could look it up if you want, but I do have to thank her for the entertainment. I that's the least I could do. And at the same time, I am a facilitator of fun. So there could be some gentlemen out there that did not know about this award-winning video, and they may want to, actually check it out, which, you never know. You remember back in the day, cartoons used to have an IOU? Remember that cartoons? Like, hey, I'll write you an IOU and all that stuff. Did you know that the NBA has an IOU? Did you guys know about that? I found out about this. Now, notice how in Major League Baseball, the players and the owners are always fighting, and they're fighting about money and everything else. And in football, it's always contentious what's going on with CTE, with money, with the games being played. It's 18, it's 17, no, it's 16. What all this crap that goes on with NFL owners and players, right? Basketball, it's like they both get it, right? They both want to work together. They both want to make money together. They both want to do what's best for the sport. It's really weird, right? How the NBA is the one sport that seems like they're hand in hand, the owners and the players, constantly. And if there's an issue, which issues arise, they hammer it out, dude. Now, I'm going to show you something that the NBA is doing. I doubt the NFL could do it. Major League Baseball could if they wanted to. But this is interesting as hell. Now, remember, they have a cap. They have controlled revenue. So it's a little bit more, it's a little easier. And it's funny how they're able to agree to a cap that works for the players and the owners in the NBA, right? Baseball can't do that, right? So Friday, May 15th will be the first check most NBA players receive, with 25% of their pay taken out. It's part of an agreement between the league and the players union to prepare for canceled games, and the league's exercising the force majeure provision in the collective bargaining agreement that lets the owners recoup costs for games canceled by catastrophes. However, some of the league's top paid players, listen to this, LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, among others, asked for the majority of their pay up front, something that's allowed in the CBA. And those players will essentially have an IOU to the league with money coming out of their salaries next season. So they're not taking the pay cut, they're getting all their money, and then they'll get taken away next year. Nets executive Bobby Marks explains the situation. 6 of the NBA's top 10 earners this season, LeBron James, Steph Curry, John Wall, Blake Griffin, Kevin Durant, and Paul George, have already been paid in full and will not see a pay decrease Friday. Their salary reductions will come out of their advances for the 2020-2021 season on October 1st, or beginning with their November 15th paychecks. Each player will essentially have an IOU per paycheck to his team, ranging from $390,000, James, to $420,000, Curry, each time there is a scheduled 25% pay reduction. That amount will increase if games are eventually canceled because of the coronavirus pandemic. If the league cancels the remainder of the regular season and jumps right into the playoffs, players likely will see the 25% paycheck reduction increase to as high as 40%. Okay? But again, these are things that they worked out a while before, the league and the players. Nobody has a problem with it because all those provisions are in there. They're prepared. They already have, again, a ways of gaining, the owners getting their money back if a pandemic takes over, if there are catastrophes. That shows you the difference between the NBA and all these other leagues and how they get it. They work with each other. It really is amazing to me how they're able to do this kind of stuff. And then everybody else struggles. And it's always a fight. And it doesn't matter what it is in the NBA, dude. If it's Donald Sterling out of line, they kick his ass out and back up the players and go get themselves a good owner. If it's the Trayvon Martin situation and that tragedy and the players wanted to back up Trayvon Martin, you know, the NBA was right there with them. It's amazing to me how all of a player comes out that's gay. The NBA is the first one to kind of embrace Collins and everybody else and move forward. It's like they don't get bogged down with all kinds of stuff. They have their controversies, they have their issues, but they find a way to resolve them all. They don't allow bully gates to last for a year or two. They don't allow deflate gates to last forever. They don't allow bounty gates to last forever. No, man, a problem comes and it's here today and it's gone tomorrow. And that's it. It doesn't fester for a year or two. It really is amazing to me. We got a super chat. Yes, sir. Super chat. Let's give it. Dolphins him. So tired of these TV analysts. Thanks for keeping me sane through these difficult times. Dolphins him. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you chiming in on the super chat. Very nice of you, giving us a little love on the super chat, man. Good stuff. Thank you, sir. Very nice. Fins is him. That's Dolphins is him. Interesting. I like it. Miami Kid J says, Zach Thomas was an all-decade player that alone gets him in the Hall of Fame. Peyton Manning said in an interview you had a game plan against Thomas. Just to think about it for a second. Yeah, no, Thomas I would put in the Hall of Fame. I have no problem with Thomas. So that I got no problem with. Now, I don't know how long it'll take to get him in there. Bobby Marks is extremely smart. He's good to listen to. Bobby Marks is excellent. He does his job, bro. Those late 90s, early 2000s Finns teams always had their highly touted defenses torched during the playoffs. Yeah, because they were already tired by then. Carrying the damn team all year long, limiting everybody to, 15 points or less in order to win games. You run out of gas by then. And they just weren't that kind of and their offense. The problem also with that team, it's really easy to blame the defense, but the problem is that offense never bailed you out. Okay? That's the real problem. If at least half the time your offense is bailing you out, but if you got to count on the defense every single week, you've got to be a Tampa Bay Bucks type defense or Ravens type defense. And Miami's defense was, I think, a Super Bowl caliber defense, but it wasn't a historic defense like that Ravens defense or that Bucks defense. I mean, let's just admit, it's not the steel curtain, right? It wasn't the no-name defense. It wasn't Doomsday. It wasn't the Bears, right? So it was a really good defense. It was a Super Bowl caliber defense, but that offense was pathetic. And that was the real problem with the Dolphins more than anything else. George says, hey, the NBA totally crapped the bed with the China issue, though. Just saying. George, the NBA did not crap the bed, my brother. I'm sorry. It's not the NBA's fault that one dude sent an email. It wasn't the NBA. The NBA did nothing to China. LeBron did nothing to China. Wade did nothing to China. None of the head coaches did anything to China. Everybody was fine until Daryl Morey opened his mouth. So it really wasn't the NBA. It was one idiot that caused a problem for the NBA. And not that Morey's tweet was completely out of line or anything. He was actually showing some humanity with the tweet, but unfortunately, because of his business, it was a stupid tweet on his part because he can't do it because of they're in bed with China. That's like I get hired by the Dolphins and then I start ripping them. That makes sense. You know what I mean? The Dolphins are paying my check, so no, I got to put on the pom-poms and be a cheerleader. And that's what the NBA had to do with China. And Daryl Morey screwed up. So I wouldn't call it the NBA because it wasn't the NBA that pissed them off. It was one dude that ended up causing a major problem for an entire league. So it screwed the NBA, but it was Daryl Morey that screwed the NBA. And then the NBA can't fire Daryl Morey because his tweet was a logical one, but you can only send that tweet if you don't work for the NBA. Everybody else in the world can send that tweet that Daryl Morey sent and have no issue with it. None of us, we're all going to be behind you 1,000% because what he said wasn't really out of line. It's only out of line because, dumbass, you're employed by the NBA. You can't do that. So that's really the problem. So I don't know if I don't know, George. I can't go as far as the NBA screwed up that one. All right. Big O, good afternoon. I know he's 38, but what about the Dolphins signing Jason Peters to a 1-2-year deal? No reason to sign him. Plus, he's old, he's overweight, he's been breaking down. No, man, no. They're going young. Notice the only spot they went old is quarterback. Van Noy, he'll be 29 now here in a couple months. So he'll be 29 for this season. That's the oldest dude that they went after. And that's a 2-year deal. I don't think, no, man. Oh, no Jason Peters. Nah. He was a hell of a player, but too injury prone now, too overweight, too old. Big O, is Tim Bowens in the Ring of Honor? You know what? I don't remember now. He should be? Wow. That's a good question. Maybe I'm just old and I forgot. Somebody, you know what? Somebody that's watching, listening now will help us out with that. I want to say, I'm trying to picture the Ring of Honor in my mind, and if I'm trying to picture the Tim Bowens, the name on the wall, and I'm not I can picture it, imagine it myself, but I don't think he is actually on the Ring of Honor. Damn, and I would put him on the Ring of Honor. Guy was a hell of a player, man, and one of the nicest guys in the world. Really, man, really nice guy. Really, really good dude. He tweeted something about things going on in China that we all know about, but he opened his big fat mouth. No, he screwed it up, Alex. Screwed it up. But it wasn't the NBA. It was just one dude alone and one tweet caused all the problems, man. And he goes, his stupid analytics are the reason the Rockets can't win. Alex Diaz says his number isn't retired. Okay, well, you know what? You don't have to retire his number, but I'd put him in the Ring of Honor. I have no problem putting Tim Bowens in the Ring of Honor, man. Tim Bowens was a freaking stud, bro. You know? I love Tim Bowens. I'm a huge Tim Bowens guy, man. So I have no problem putting that dude in the Hall of Fame. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. Hey, did you know that Mark Cuban tried to recruit Michael Jordan? Yeah, when Jordan was going to Washington, Cuban was in the middle of purchasing the Mavs. So this is how the story goes. Jordan lost as Wizards president, lost as Wizards player. Then he presumably lost his job in the Wizards front office, right? But Jordan apparently could have spent his post-Bulls years with another team. Mavericks owner Mark Cuban on 105.3 The Fan, he goes, the day he signed with Washington to come back, David Falk, that's right, when I was buying the Mavs, David Falk said, why don't you go and meet him? So I went to David Falk's office, and all the papers were right there. And I was trying to convince MJ to not sign with them and do something with the Mavs. I mean, I don't know how much. It doesn't look to me like Cuban needs to lie about something like that. If it's true, if he was able to try to, that would have been funny, man. And as they point out in this story, which is true, the Mavs were rising with Nowitzki, Steve Nash, and Michael Finley. So they actually had a decent team that you add Jordan to it. Now, chemistry and all that. We don't know what the chemistry would be like with those guys and Jordan, but that would have been interesting. And that would have put Michael in the Western Conference. So you would have seen Michael for a couple of years play in the Western style, which we all know the East was a little bit more physical. Okay, so now you've got the more up and down Western open type style for Michael, and with Steve Nash, with Dirk and Finley, you got a nice group that you can run with. That actually would have been way more entertaining than Washington. Okay? And he didn't play bad basketball in Washington. It's just that they were a bad team. He just didn't have the pieces around him. And obviously there was a bigger picture for him because he wanted ownership and all that down the line, and obviously he's worked his way to that. It is amazing how Michael was the GOAT as a player, and as an executive, he absolutely sucks. And most of these guys that are great suck at this. Isn't it funny that sometimes you'll get the ex-player that will tell you, Joe Fan, or me, Mr. Media Member, did you guys play the game? Well, what do you know? Right? And of course, we don't know exactly what coaches and players, and we're not privy to everything that goes on in the locker room, and we don't know all the nuances of what plays are called and where people are supposed to be and how to decipher this and that. I get it. We're not as smart as they are in all these other things that they do. But it's funny to me when we see that a lot of the successful coaches in the history of time sucked at their sport playing. You know what I mean? So it's funny like that. A lot of the executives that are, we're watching The Last Dance. Jerry Krause actually was a very good front office guy. Speaking of Hall of Fame, I'm not sure, is Jerry Krause in the Hall of Fame? Because he actually deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't even know if he is. I'm not even sure. Somebody look it up for me there. Is Jerry Krause in the Hall of Fame? But think about that. Jerry Krause looks like the most unathletic dude in the history of the world. And Phil Jackson cannot hold a candle to Jerry Krause. And Phil Jackson played on championship teams, coached championship teams, and he can't put together a playoff team. Just saying. I just find it funny when they tell you, what do you know about the game? Well, why? Because you played the game means you're the only one that's going to know whether a guy can play or can't play? I've always had that discussion. It's a fun discussion, because I bring stuff up like that. I've done it at what's it called? The Combine, the East-West, the Senior Bowl. I'm hanging out with a bunch of scouts. We're drinking, smoking cigars, and we start talking about that subject. And when you start bringing up things like that, everybody starts to think, because to me, I find it really cheesy. Because when a player goes to that in an interview, well, what do you know about it? You didn't play the game. That's already a player on the defense. Whatever question you ask them, they're already uncomfortable. Whatever point you were making, you hit a sore spot. So now their defense is to try to make you sound that you're unintelligent, that you don't know what you're talking about, that you've never watched football or baseball or whatever, or basketball. And a lot of you know. A lot of you know a lot. Do you know everything? Of course not. Are you perfect at it? No, none of us are. But that's what I laugh at. Because we can be just as perfect or imperfect as Phil Jackson. In fact, some of you out there might do a better job than Phil Jackson putting together a basketball team. Some of you out there might be better at guessing who's a better player to pick with that draft pick than Phil Jackson. I mean, those are the facts. It's what we see. So it's funny that for people to think, that there's a real there's the right way of doing this, that one person, they've got it, they're a smart player. Well, that automatically will translate to the front office. No, it does not. Oh, he's a great player. It'll translate. He'll be a great coach. No, it's not. In fact, it's the polar opposite. Most great players can't be good coaches. Most great players can't be good executives. Those are the facts. That's what you have to expect. That most of the great players will fail. And the guys that could make it, those are your best ones. Those are the guys that become the best ever in the business. Because last time I checked, Bill Belichick never made a tackle in the NFL. Never made a Pro Bowl. Never was in the league. Never made it to the Hall of Fame as a player. Never won anything as a player. And yet he is the best coach ever. A lot of guys were great coaches and they were mediocre players in the NFL. They made it to the NFL, but they were mediocre. It is amazing how Jordan is so good as a player and yet so terrible as an executive, as an owner. And you know what's the worst part about Jordan? And you know what? I'm glad I brought it up now, because there's a soundbite we got today from Antoine Walker. Can you bring up the Antoine Walker soundbite? And I'm glad I'm talking about this because we see in The Last Dance MJ's competitive spirit, right? And it's one of those things, the guy wants to win at throwing coins up against the wall, poker, basketball. It doesn't matter what it is. He wants to win at it. He's addicted to winning, right? Well, here's Antoine Walker talking about a moment with MJ, and it was gambling, okay? Go ahead, fire it off.
He talked about in The Last Dance about his gambling problem in depth, or his competition problem, as he referred to it. You saw it firsthand. What's your favorite story or memory regarding a competition problem?
Well, it's a lot of those. Obviously, got the basketball, his competitive drive to win, and was second to none. So that's all well documented. I think I could just see it. I mean, obviously, I don't think necessarily he had a gambling problem. He did have a competition problem. Michael was the type of person, if he lose, $100,000, he's not going to stop until he get that $100,000 back. And I've witnessed that several times. Whether he was in a casino, whether we was playing cards, whatever that may be, Michael wants to win, and he's not going to stop until he wins. So Michael was opening a restaurant in the Mohican Sun. We played them in the preseason. This is back, I think, 01, 02, somewhere around there when he came back. And we stayed afterwards. We opened the restaurant. Everything was great. And Michael's gambling, and he's down big. He's down probably $500 to $1 million. And we literally sat there for about 8 hours until he got all the money back. And he just fought by himself. I was just a cheerleader at that point. I was sitting there cheering him on, keeping him up. We drinking coffee. We up through the wee hours of the night and watching an amazing comeback. Not only did he win the bucks, he also won $1 million. So it was an amazing turn of events. But it was just an example of how competitive he is and his fight and will to win everything. He probably could have took the loss and went upstairs and went to bed, but he just stayed there and was competitive. And we stayed there till probably 7, 8 in the morning. We stayed up all night. But also you got to understand, Michael makes a ton of money. So the numbers are going to be big. So you can see him gamble $1 million because he can afford to lose $1 million if that was the case. So I think people sometimes don't understand that, but he has a lot of money, so the numbers are going to be very big. So for the average person, it looks like it's a gambling problem, but no, he's just very competitive.
Now, the interesting part about that story is that Michael has changed the gambling table for the Charlotte Hornets. And he's a terrible owner because they suck every year. I mean, there's no other way to slice it. As great as he was a player, he's that bad of an NBA executive. He does not have an eye for putting together a championship team. He doesn't know how to do it. And it's not like it's not possible, because we've watched Pat Riley turn over the Heat over and over and over and over again. Not win the title every time, but hell, have you ever seen Michael put together a team with like Timmy and Zoe? Just that kind of success.
Not even half of that.
Not even that. You ever seen him, I don't know, Zoe goes down with a kidney ailment, he goes and gets Mason and saves the season?
Does he actually do anything there? Like, really, come to think of it?
Can he put Wade, Lamar, and Butler together at least? No. He certainly can't put Wade and Shaq together. He certainly can't put LeBron, Wade, and Bosh together. And he certainly, obviously, can't even get now Tyler Johnson, Bam, Duncan Robinson, and company together. Jimmy Butler, too. He can't do anything. It's really amazing. Now, here's the nightmare for Hornets fans. He's the guy that will not leave the blackjack table or poker table or whatever it is. What is that? What's that? What's the Asian game? Oh, that is so popular. Oh, pie gone pie, whatever. I'm mixing it with some kind of pie, huh? Shows you where my mind is. Anyway, Pai Gao, right? Pai Gao or something. Whatever, anyway. Whatever game it is, okay? He's the addict that keeps asking for credit, and the casino boss is, okay, you're up to 20 million. No, 1 million more. And they're just watching him gamble his life away. And he won't leave the table. See, that night with Antoine Walker, he was able to bounce back and win the money. By the way, for the record, Antoine Walker, one of the nicest guys you'll meet. Seriously. Very irresponsible with his money. He did some crazy stuff on his own to bury himself and all that, because he has his own gambling issues, by the way. He owed people in Vegas millions of dollars. Okay? But I just want to tell you, Antoine Walker, as a person, super cool dude. Super cool dude. I dealt with him only a few times at the Heat because I was kind of already in the transition of becoming a full-time host, and I wasn't a beat guy nearly as much anymore, so I wasn't in the locker rooms anymore as much. And so I got to talk to Walker a few times. I want to say maybe 4 or 5 times in a couple months that I talked to him. I'm in Vegas for a fight. And I come out of the place to get a credential, and I'm walking down this hallway, and Antoine comes. He's coming in the other direction, crossing me. He sees me, goes, "Yo, what's up, oh?" First of all, didn't know that he would even know to call me oh. Didn't even expect him to say hi to me. I kind of was going to look at him and nod my head and say, "Hey, what's up?" He actually gave me a hug and all that, and I'm like, wow, I didn't really get to know him that well. But just from the few interactions at the Heat, that guy, okay, oh, I know you, man. You're cool, whatever. And really, really nice guy. So whatever disasters he's had in his life, I just want to tell you that Antoine Walker's a nice dude. And so there's a part of me that also says that maybe Antoine Walker may not want to say a bad story about Michael Jordan. And so he told you a good one. You know what I mean? And plus, Antoine's had his nightmares of gambling too. So he's been on the bad end of it. You know what I'm saying? But I just want you to know that he's actually a really cool dude.
Okay, so there is a candy coat here, right? Candy coat?
Maybe.
And they're just drinking coffee till 7 or 8 in the morning.
Okay.
You're sitting in a casino for 8 hours till 7 or 8 in the morning. You're just drinking coffee.
Well, they're having fun, man. Thanks, Big O. Great job as always. Love the show and listen daily here in Connecticut. Dean G, thank you so much for this super chat. Very nice of you. Dolphins all the way. I cannot wait to listen on Mondays after Dolphin games to hear your show and comments. Well, thank you, sir. We can't wait for the Dolphin season to return so we can talk about the games, talk about the progress that the team is making, man.
Going to be a lot of happy Mondays, I think.
Yeah, man. A little super chat action there. You got anything? Give him a little love for super chat. What's the deal? Dude, you're a disaster. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dean G, for the super chat. Awesome stuff. Big O, what's the status on us getting Logan Ryan? I have not heard anything, my man. And I've been on here for a couple of hours, so I don't know if they've even signed him at all. I don't think they have because I haven't gotten any kind of a deal in my phone here. It says, hey, Dolphins sign him. They're interested in him, but they have not signed him yet. Okay? That's all I can tell you. The Jets are also interested. He wants about $10 million a year. What Dean G makes a year, you know? Dean G makes about $10 million a year. That's why he's chiming in on the super chat and helping us out here and supporting the show. Let's see. George, let's see. Miami J Kid says, to Michael Jordan's defense, the Hornets haven't been good since Alonzo Mourning was there. Yeah, no, I know, but he's in charge, bro. It doesn't matter what happened before him. He's been in charge for a long, long time now. You know what I mean? If put it this way, he is doing a Dale Talon-like effort over there. He's running the show with nothing to show for it. And I think he's been there longer than 10 years. Dale Talon has sucked for the Panthers for 10 years. Michael Jordan seems like 15 now over there. And they do nothing year in and year out. When you constantly suck, you're constantly in the lottery. You should find a gem or two every once in a while. So I can't give Jordan a break. But Jordan won't give himself a break. He doesn't have the courage to look himself in the mirror and say, I need to go hire a basketball operations guy and just go play golf and smoke cigars. Right? I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, if you have failed miserably, you know, here's where I give Stephen Ross credit. Stephen Ross hired Adam Gase. Stephen Ross hired Joe Philbin. He was in those interviews. He was the guy who was bragging about how, you know, impressed he was. Didn't he say about Philbin, like, I wish he's the next Don Shula or something like that? So, and then Stephen Ross met with Ndamukong Suh at a Red Wings game in a box. And Suh worked his magic because Suh has got a personality and a half when he wants to use it because he's super smart. And he won Stephen Ross over. And Stephen Ross and Mike Tannenbaum were like, oh, we got to have the shiny little object. Let's give him $20 million. Stephen Ross did a lot of, you know, semi-meddling because he wanted to be, hey, I own the team and I want to make the decisions and all that. And finally, after 10 years of effing up, he finally said, you know what I need to do? I need to hire a football person and get the hell out of the way. I'm not going to do this thing anymore that we have the coach and we'll go find a general manager and keep it together. And then we have the general manager, but we'll go hire another coach and never let the football person hire their people. No, we'll take this guy out. We'll add this guy to this mix because that's the way it'll work. You know? If we pull Sperano out, but we put Philbin there with Ireland and the boys, everything will work. No, it doesn't work that way. And so now he finally learned his lesson, and he goes, hey, Chris, you're the hire. I'm out of here. You hire whoever the hell you want, dude. And then Chris hired his coach, and then Chris did what football people do. Coach Flores, who do you want as coordinators? We're not hiring your coordinators either. You're not inheriting this guy. Like when, what was it? Cam Cameron was here. They kept the defensive coordinator that was with Green Bay, the Texans. What's his name now? I'm forgetting. And he had more experience than Cam Cameron as a head coach. Yet Cam Cameron in his first year wanted, now I'm forgetting his name, the defensive coordinator, to coach the last game of the preseason just in case he had to miss a game. And that guy was already a head coach. So he already had experience as a head coach. He didn't need that game because it was something stupid that Cam Cameron came up with. Somebody help me out there with the damn coach. What's the name of the guy? I can picture him. He's got the black hair, kind of balding. A good Dom Capers. Boom. Dom Capers. He had Dom Capers. Dom Capers had already been a head coach, and he wanted Dom Capers to coach the fourth preseason game just in case he missed. It's like, these are stupid things that have gone on this team forever. And I was ripping this team all the time for all the stupid things. Now they do things that are smart. And to me, I think Stephen Ross learned his lesson. Let me hire the person and let me get the hell out of the way. Let me just be a fan and write checks. And like I told you yesterday, Chris Grier could be on the brink of doing something that nobody's done since Shula. Because if he hired the right head coach in Flores, and if he found his quarterback in Tua, and he hit on both, he did that in one calendar year, something that nobody else has been able to do for 25 years since Shula retired or was pushed out. It's freaking amazing. But Ross learned his lesson. Michael does not. Jordan doesn't learn his lesson. He's the guy that needs to say, hire the basketball guy and let me get the hell out of the way. Hour number 3 is next.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty. We take it till 2, so we are headed down the home stretch. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, please be careful out there, those of you that are in South Florida, because obviously there's a lot of you that are not in South Florida, not even in this country right now, watching the show. And so those of you, I don't know what your weather is like, but here in South Florida, there's some rain. So please be careful out there. On the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. Big O, love the show. Ron from Michigan. 2 quick points. Third Stage, good album. I'm a sucker for rock ballads, and Amanda is one of my favorites. Oh, man, it's so good. Amanda's great. Grew up watching Dukes of Hazzard, so one of my all-time favorite cars is the 69 early 70s Dodge Charger. Of course, dude. The General E. Lee was a beautiful automobile, man. That thing was awesome. That thing was fantastic, man. Blake Snell made some headlines. Yesterday we were talking about how, baseball players – and I talked a little bit about this yesterday because I know it's really simple to get mad at the baseball players for all of this. And look, baseball doesn't get it, and they are losing their what's it called, their fans and all that. I get it all. I understand all those issues. And I talked about it yesterday. You can listen to the segment. I explain where I understand where baseball players are coming from because the owners are kind of being lowlifes on this one, and they don't want to get set up for something down the line. So Blake Snell didn't come off the right way because he didn't deliver it the right way, and so he kind of delivered it in a way that sounded very uneducated, kind of streetish in a way, you know what I mean?
His publisher was not involved.
Yeah, it's just one of those deals that it just didn't sound good. But I do understand where they're coming from. Also, those people that are working now, they're working because they got to work, man, like we do, because we got to keep our heads above water. We got to pay for bills. There are a lot of people out there that are dying to work and they can't. And so people are, even if they're got to take some chances, it is what it is, unfortunately, right? But then there's a lot of other people that they're really fortunate. They're not like you and me that work from month to month to try to keep our heads above water. No, these people have luxuries. And if you had them, you would think the same way like Blake Snell. If you had millions in the bank and they're asking you to take all kinds of pay cuts for this year, you're like, hey, you know what? Hey, man, I don't need to take a chance to catch COVID. So why am I going to do that? I got money in the bank. I'm good. I'll wait till next year. I'm not playing. So if you had money in the bank and you didn't have to work, you would do the same thing. Selfishly, we all want sports to come back for our entertainment. We don't care what they're risking. So here's Blake Snell explaining this. All right, you're going to hear it if you haven't heard it. Some of you have, maybe some of you haven't. Here's Blake Snell talking about taking that pay cut. And I want you to hear this, but I'm going to add something to maybe where he's also coming from. Go ahead.
I'm going to be like, bro, Blake, play for the love of the game, man. What's wrong with you, bro? Money should not be a thing. Bro, I'm risking my life. What do you mean it should not be a thing? It 100% should be a thing. If I'm going to play, I should be getting the money I signed to be getting paid. I should not be getting half of what I'm getting paid because the season's cut in half, on top of a 33% cut of the half that's already there. So I'm really getting like 25%. On top of that, it's getting taxed. So imagine how much I'm actually making to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't making shit. And on top of that, so all that money's gone. And now I play risking my life. And if I get the Rona, on top of that, if I get the Rona, guess what happens with that? Oh, yeah, that's in my body forever. That damage is not going to be, like, The damage that was done to my body, that's going to be there forever. So now I got to play with that on top of that. So y'all got to understand, man, for me to take a pay cut is not happening because the risk is through the roof. It's a shorter season, less pay. Like, bro, yeah, man, I gotta get my money. I'm not playing unless I get mine. Okay? And that's just the way it is for me. Like, I'm sorry if you guys think differently, but the risk is way the hell higher and the amount of money I make is way lower. Why would I think about doing that? Like, I'm sorry. So in my head, I'm preparing for next season. And I'm actually preparing for right now. But as if I'm preparing for next season. Like, it's super weird, man. More Twitch streams for us, that's facts. But guys, I'm just saying, man, it just doesn't make sense for me to lose all of that money and then go play and then be on lockdown, not around my family, not around the people I love, and get paid way the hell less, and then the risk of injury runs every time I step on the field. So it's not worth it. It's not. I love baseball to death. It's just not worth it.
I do want to, one caveat. You don't really love baseball to death because then you would take the chance and play with COVID. I'm just saying. I just wanted to throw a little joke on the side there. Don't tell me you love baseball to death because then you'd be willing to put your life on the line. Anyway, all kidding aside, he's right about a lot of this stuff. The way the owners agreed to a prorated deal. So if you're not playing the 162 games, if you're not playing 162 and you only play 100, you'll get prorated. You'll get paid for the 100 games just like you would get paid for 162. Same amount. It's just prorated for 100 or 80 or 90, whatever. Now they got it down to 50%. They put it at a cap, which they don't have caps in baseball, and the player's cut is more than 50%. So they would be taking less. So I understand all of that with Blake Snell. Here's the other thing that I wanted to bring up with Blake Snell. And you tell me, I'm a little cynical in life, okay? I've been at this for 30 years. I've been around athletes, owners, general managers. I've been lied to left and right. I've been misled left and right. So that's why I don't necessarily take everything as gospel, and I kind of look at it a little, with a twisted look, just in case, because I just don't trust people a lot of times in this business. So, Blake Snell plays for the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm really proud of myself because I didn't say Devil Rays. Anyway, he plays for the Tampa Bay Rays, a team that is never going to win a World Series. They would need the miracle of all miracles for them to win the World Series. A team that never keeps of core players around because they're not willing to pay their players. So I'm wondering, does it make a difference to Blake Snell if he's playing for Tampa or if he's playing for the Dodgers? If he's playing for Tampa or if he's playing for the Cubs? If he's playing for Tampa or if he's playing for the Astros? If he's playing for Tampa or he's playing for the Yankees or the Red Sox? I'm just wondering, because a part of you doesn't want to take a chance, but I know you don't mention it because it would be kind of rude and you just kept it at money. But deep down inside, does Blake Snell also say, and I'm also going to risk my life to play for the sorry-ass Rays that I know we don't have a chance? Sure, we'll be competitive. Sure, we can make the playoffs every once in a while. We'll sneak in. We do a really good job of drafting, and we develop players. We just don't keep them around. I'm just saying. It's a cheap team. It doesn't keep anybody around. He knows it. Why risk it? Now, if it was a team that actually had a chance at the World Series, even in a shortened season, would Blake Snell react differently? There's just a part of me that I know it's about money. I know the principle about the salary cap. I understand the luxury of having money in the bank and saying, I don't need to work right now. I can wait. I got millions in the bank right now. Me and my family will be fine. Because there's people out here that, God bless them, man. They got money and they're fine. The rest of us, we're either waiting for the stimulus checks, trying to work whatever we can. If we're not working, when we're in really bad shape, I mean, it's really tough for a lot of people, But there are those people that are privileged, and they put themselves in that position, and Blake Snell has put himself in that position. So if he has money in the bank and he doesn't want to work, he has that luxury. But there's a part of me, I'm just wondering, how much does it have to do that it's the Rays? That's all I'm saying. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Gio Milian says, hey, Big O, what do you think about James Harrison saying that Mike Tomlin gave him an envelope after a hit on Muhammad Massaquoi? Gio, you need to listen to that segment, but it already passed, bro. So you can go back to the beginning of this, and I think it's the beginning of the show. I think I opened with that. I opened with Dunbar and Baker. It's a little after. It might be the start of hour number 2, actually, or the end of hour number 1. So go back there. Bill will podcast that segment, so you'll be able to hear it. So I did address it, okay? And I took an angle that most people probably aren't going to take, because I think most people are focused on the wrong things. Call of Duty 1 says, I'm glad doctors and nurses don't think like this. Hospitals losing money. I'm done with MLB. Pat in Nashville says, I love her to death, but I'm not marrying her. Oh, who's that, Pat? Okay, I ain't making crap. What a D-bag. Everyone's taking pay cuts right now, and none of them get to play a game and still make $2 to $3 million. Yeah, but you got to understand the cap stuff. They don't want the cap, man, because then it sets a precedent. So they got to stay away from that. And the owners agreed to a prorated deal and then backed out of the deal by throwing the 50-50 split to the public, not even to the players. So it's kind of like weasels. The owners were real weasels to the players in this sense. So I got to give the players a break here a little bit, man. Let's see, what else do we have here? Stevie Ray Vaughan, Mary had a little lamb. What is that? Alexa V says, I have a pool, but not a Lambo. Hell, Alexa, but that's still cool to have a pool. Nothing wrong with having a pool. It's always cool to have the pool. Now, I do have a weird story that I ran into. You guys know that baseball player, not I shouldn't say only baseball players, but maybe you are a little superstitious. Maybe you like doing things a certain way because you think it'll work out for you the right way if you do it this way or that way, right? It happens with a lot of people that they do things like that. And in sports, people are superstitious. Now, the sport that probably has the most superstition is what? Baseball, correct? Because baseball is the one that usually is the one that you like, okay, wait a minute. I've got to get dressed this way. I'm on a hit streak. I've got to wear my underwears for a certain amount of consecutive days. All those kind of things come up with baseball players, right? So one specific baseball player, Pete Alonzo, and Alonzo, wait a minute now. I hate when I do this, and I do this often. I save the damn article, and then I'm trying to find the article so I can talk about it, so I can read the damn quote, because I'm not going to memorize the damn quote. And now I can't find the damn article on it. But it's a funny story about Pete Alonzo and superstitions, because he was in the middle of a funk. And in the middle of the funk, he kind of started talking about, man, where is it now? I don't want to ruin the story by telling it half-ass. and then I hate when I do this, and it's happened to me a couple times, and I thought I saved it. I'm usually prepared, but every once in a while, one of these damn stories slips past me, and I don't find it. And it kills me, man. It kills me, dude. I can't believe it, man. It's kind of a funny story, too, because it has to do with the superstitions, and I think it's like Venus or something, like a planet being unaligned that was affecting him or some crap like that. And then the planets were about to align, so he got on a roll, and that was part of the roll that he hit 53 home runs, basically. I ruined the story already. Screw it. I already lost the momentum from it. But what the hell? What can I do? I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought I had the story there, but it is a funny, if you can look it up, it's not something that's earth-shattering or anything, but it is kind of funny how he talks about it. Now, we have the cut. Can we play the soundbite? Because at least we have Pete Alonso's soundbite talking about his superstitions and his 53 home runs, and I hope I could find the other article that I wanted. Go ahead, fire it off.
I think there was like this 3-week period where it was after the All-Star game. I was scuffling a little bit. Like, it was the dumbest thing ever. And like, it's like as a baseball player, you get superstitious, and just to find reasoning with something that can't be reasoned with. I saw something on Twitter. I was in a rabbit hole one night after the game. It's like, oh, Mercury's like out of retrograde. If you're born in a certain month, then it really affects you in a negative way in your performance at your job. And I'm like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde. It comes out of retrograde on this day. I can't wait for that. And that day was probably like 5 days away. And then lo and behold, that day that Mercury came out of retrograde,
hey,
I think I had like 3 hits.
I'm telling you, he came in the locker room screaming it. Mercury's out of retrograde. And like, we're looking around like, what does that even mean? I'm confused. I have no idea what's going on. And I was just like, all right, well, whatever, Pete's back. And I'm telling you, he went off. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, he had a bomb, and me and JD, we lost it. We just kept screaming, Mercury! Mercury!
It was unbelievable. And he comes in one day, Mercury's in retrograde or whatever he says. And we're just like looking at him like, what? And sure enough, like he's all confident. He's all, strutting around like a little peacock and everything, like he's back. And I'm just like, dude, what is going on right now? And then all of a sudden, first at bat, he hits a homer, and me and Dom just start screaming Mercury at the pitcher, everybody in the dugout. And then the best part was that Jake, I think it was Jake was pitching that day. And so, you could basically what David said, he's super competitive. So he's just sitting there like, and so we're just screaming. I tried to get him to laugh, Pete's back, Mercury's back in retrograde, Mercury.
That's good stuff there, Mercury in retrograde. So he goes off. And it's funny because all those stupid little things, all it does is feed our confidence. And that's where Alonzo is in a lack of confidence. He's in a slump. And then he uses whatever to kind of raise his confidence, and you have success, and then it takes off. In a way, Jordan was that guy, but he would use people's negativity to motivate him, or he would then manufacture it, the negativity. He would create the negativity in order to inspire himself to take it to another level.
Twist it and make it suit his needs.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a way to kind of boost your confidence. And so Mercury in retrograde ends up boosting Pete Alonso's confidence, thinking that he can, attack the world. And, well, the dude hit 53 home runs last year, So obviously Venus in retrograde was very important. And that was the Cookie Club, SNY's Cookie Club. That's where these guys were at, talking about all of that. Interesting story, man. I like that. On a lighter side and a sad side, hopefully, first of all, everything works out. On the baseball side, former Major League player and manager Art Howell has been hospitalized with coronavirus. He told a Houston media outlet he played for 3 teams, managed 3 teams during his baseball career, told KPRC in Houston that he began feeling ill on Sunday, May 3rd, with chills that had him shaking. Howe tested positive for the virus and went into isolation. His symptoms got worse. He was taken to the hospital on Tuesday via ambulance. The 73-year-old former manager has been in intensive care as he recovers. He is slowly improving, but needs to go 24 hours without a fever before being released. Howe has experienced symptoms like fatigue and a loss of taste. Scary stuff, man, right? I mean, that's just, this thing, man, attacks people in so many different ways. And the stuff that Snell was talking about, there are people now that have been attacked by the coronavirus and then they've recovered, but they don't fully recover. They end up having some kind of a respiratory issue that drags on after. Can you imagine if you're an athlete like Snell and you do get COVID from somebody else in the majors, and then it ends up because this, what we don't know about this thing still, and the experts still don't know everything about it, is how it affects us in every way that it could affect us. What kind of people is it affecting more than others? What sex is affecting more than others? They say more men than women. They say older people than young. But then again, it's affecting women. It's affecting young people. Hell, there's the Kawasaki disease. It is now mimicking the Kawasaki disease. You have COVID, but it has some of the things that then the doctors think that a kid has the Kawasaki disease, which is a disease that kids get. And yet the corona, when it attacks some kids, it gives them the symptoms like if they have Kawasaki and it's not Kawasaki, it's COVID. These are all these stupid things that we're finding out every single day as you follow this crap. It changes. So prayers to Art Howe, man. Hopefully everything works out and he's able to fully recover. Poor man, having to go through that hell, which is just absolutely brutal. On the music side, there's a couple things going on. Queen is set to air a Freddie Mercury concert. So that's pretty cool. So starting today, you can watch Prince. Go to Prince's YouTube channel, and you can watch the 1985 performance in Syracuse for the Purple Rain Tour. I am going to watch that today when I get home. I'm going to watch Prince. So Queen and Eagle Rock Entertainment have partnered with the Mercury Phoenix Trust to present a special YouTube premiere screening of the Freddie Mercury tribute concert in support of COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund for the World Health Organizations. Friday, May 15th, the official Queen YouTube channel will be premiering a special stream of Freddie Mercury's tribute concert as part of the ongoing fight with COVID-19, with all donations supporting the World Health Organizations. Google.org is matching $2 for every $1 donated with this ongoing Google/YouTube UN Foundation campaign fundraiser through June 30th. The concert will be available to stream for 48 hours only, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern. Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness took place Easter Monday, April 20th of 92 in London's Wembley Stadium in front of a sold-out crowd of 72,000. The concert and the tribute to Queen's lead singer who died of AIDS on November 24th of 91. The remaining members, Brian May, Roger Taylor, and John Deacon, were joined on stage by many of the biggest acts in the world, including David Bowie, George Michael, Annie Lennox, Elton John, Guns N' Roses, Robert Plant, Metallica, Liza Minnelli, Def Leppard, Seal, Roger Daltrey, and many more. The concert was the last large-scale live event Deacon performed with Queen. Watch the event trailer here, and you can see it there. You can go check it out at some of the different places that they have this article, and they'll talk about it. But watch the Queen YouTube channel, man. That's a hell of a concert right there. So I got the Prince concert and I got the Queen tribute concert that I'm going to do this weekend. So I got a couple of great things to watch. Sheryl Crow will be streaming tomorrow, May 16th, at 7 p.m. So if you want to enjoy a little Sheryl Crow, here's another funny story that I saw. You know Ghost, the metal band, right? You've gotten into Ghost lately.
You actually turned me on to them, and yeah, man.
Yeah,
they're good. They're good.
They're really good. So Ghost now, and if you know Tobias Forge, he is awesome, but he's kind of a little full of himself. Okay, and he's the guy that pretty much he none of the band members ever have any names. They're just demons, that's all. They don't no identities. He has switched out those guys left and right. So he's the brains behind the whole operation. We know that. But a UK-based liquor brand called Ghost Vodka is now being sued for trademark infringement by Swedish rocker Ghost. The company fired back at the band, particularly at frontman Tobias Forge. Okay? He says, recently we were rather bemused to receive legal correspondence on behalf of the Swedish band Ghost and their lead singer Tobias Fida Forge, informing us actions they wish to take against us for making vodka. The vodka brand wrote in a Facebook post with the meme of the band and the vodka bottle on May 9th. You can see the post, they have it there. And then following the initial reports of the conflict, after Facebook post, sales director of Ghost Drinks Limited, Leon, provided a statement to Blabbermouth regarding the matter. According to the statement, Ghost Vodka launched in 2015, and the company was not aware of the band Ghost or Forge. We are being sued purely because we are called Ghost Vodka. There are no other factors at play here, Leon said. Prior to the meme we posted this week, May 9th, at no point have we ever used the image of the band or to promote our product. Fans of the band or fans of rock metal as a whole have never been our target of this brand. Leon's statement also mentioned that the band is trying to set the hearing for sometime in June in Stockholm, Sweden. Meanwhile, there are still travel bans throughout Europe due to the coronavirus. The band seems determined to take advantage of this, knowing full well we cannot attend the hearing. Our thoughts on the matter? We believe Tobias Forge needs the money, having recently settled another case out of court. If he can screw us over his bandmates, he will now have qualms in coming after a small independent business. We respect his success. We can understand how hard he has worked to get where he is. However, there is no excuse for this kind of shitty behavior on his part, they wrote. Which, by the way, they are 1,000% right. The vodka does not use Ghost at all, the band. And just because you're called Ghost, you don't have anything. So Ghost, the movie, wasn't it Ghost? Wasn't it called Ghost, the one with Demi Moore?
Yeah, Patrick Swayze.
Right, it was called Ghost.
Exactly.
So Can the movie sue the band and the vodka since they were first?
Seems like that's the precedent that's been set.
Right? I mean, if Tobias is going to just be suing anything that's called Ghost, I found that hilarious because nothing, the bottle or nothing like that, they don't use anything with Ghost or Tobias at all.
You know who we got a phone call from?
Who?
Gene Simmons.
Ah, yes. Mr. Marketer himself. Yes. Let's see. Sirius is their best song, and Square Hammer is catchy. You don't like Rats? Rats is a good song. What is it? Ashes, I think, is the other one that I like. Ghost is really, really good. Where Ghost freaks you out is when you play, okay, any of you out there, even if you're not into metal, okay? All right, even you, Alexa. I don't know, Alexa, are you into heavy metal? If you're not into heavy metal, perfect, okay? I want you to go download from Ghost any metal song they have, Rats, you name it, anything. Oh, man, what's that other song that I'm trying to remember this other song that I like a lot, and now I'm brain farting completely. But I want you to hear any of their songs. Then I want you to put Dance Macabre. Okay? Everybody will like that song, Dance Macabre. Macabre. It's nothing like the music that they play. It's like a dance-oriented type song. I would play it here, but YouTube will freak out. But seriously, I want you to just play any of Ghost music, all of it, any of it, and then you play Dance Macabre, and you're like, is this the same band? Because this is nothing alike. You know what I mean? It's kind of funny.
You know who's not happy?
Who's that?
What's his name? With his Alexa and you talking heavy metal, she's talking about steel and tungsten and all kinds of crazy metals now.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, that's right.
Damn it, stop talking about iron.
Anybody out there that doesn't like heavy metal, please put on Ghost Dance Macabre. Okay? I'm going to take a quick break here. 2-minute break. All right? We're going to take a quick break here. We'll come back on the other side. VSS West Pines is a proud sponsor. There's a good chance for you to listen to Dance Macabre from Ghost and then tell me what you think. Listen to 2 or 3 minutes of it, okay? And then tell me what you think, all right? I hope you're not a heavy metal fan, because that's how I want you to hear it. Because if you're a metal fan, you'll like it because you like Ghost, and then you'll adjust to it or whatever. But in other words, you can listen to all of Kiss's music, and then you can hear I Was Made for Loving You. And you're like, well, wait a minute, that has nothing to do with what you guys do. That Ghost's Dance Macabre is their I Was Made for Loving You for Kiss, basically. All right, VSS West Pines, proud sponsor. We were there on Wednesday. We'll be there next Wednesday at noon. Come on down, join us. If you need any of your CBD needs, folks, you got stress, you got anxiety, you got pain, go see Jose and all the great people out there. 12397 Pembroke Road. Tell them that Big O sent you. They'll take care of you. They got a wide variety of rolling papers from raw to smoking brands, hookahs from $19.99 and up, all kinds of water pipes, all kinds of killer little goodies. I tell you all the time, this is Barefoot Mailman and Spencer's Meets CBD. Get on down to 12397 Pembroke Road, and they still have curbside pickup, so you can call them, 954-613-3367, 954-613-3367. You can order by phone and pick up right there curbside. Go to the website, vsswestpines.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million, whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All righty.
This is the Big O Show.
Game Over 954 goes to us heavy metal fans. Are there any new bands that sing more like vocals instead of just growling? I've always loved the instrumentals of any metal, but can't do the growling. Game Over 954, my brother. I am not a screamer either. I can't listen to Man of War or G War or whatever, that kind of. I can't do that. I can't do that. They got to be able to sing. Ghost, Tobias sings. Listen to Mastodon. They sing. They've got vocals, man. I'm with you. I can't. I've never been the guy that listens to screamers. I can't. Anthrax, I love because Joey Belladonna can sing his ass off. In fact, you should listen to Joey Belladonna do Ronnie James Dio. That's impressive. Okay? But if you want young metal bands that sing, I'm trying to think of some like Ghost and Mastodon that are pretty good. I'm trying to think of some new ones because like I tell you, Rival Sons, but they're not metal. That's kind of hard rock, really. I'm trying to think of, what am I missing, like new metal? I mean, I don't know if you would consider Hailstorm metal or hard rock, but Lizzie can sing her ass off. Let me see, Clutch, I love, but again, they've been around. They're not young, man. They've been around 20 years. Trying to think of some of these young metal bands they got some pretty good singers. You got any for me, Larry Schlossberg? Any young metal bands that got good singers?
I heard this band. I mean, metal is there's this band called.
Come around this side. Come around that side. Grab that mic over there.
Band I heard called Joyous Wolf.
Oh, dude, yes. I've seen Joyous Wolf.
And, man, I thought
Grab the mic. Grab the mic. Grab the mic. I have potted up there, Bill. That's the only way we're going to hear him.
Joyous Wolf.
Yeah,
I'm not
very close.
advocating them as a band. I thought they were.
No, they're
cool,
good.
though.
I like them.
I thought they were pretty cool.
No, they're good. I like Joyce Wolf.
Like he listened to a lot of Chris Cornell, I think, growing up.
Yes.
And,
Joyce Wolf, by the way, if you want, listen to their version of the Cranberries' Zombie. They do a really nice job. Have you heard? You know Zombie?
They also did a pretty cool version of Mississippi Queen by Mountain.
Oh, there you go.
A video I saw on YouTube that was like, the guy's doing backflips and singing Mississippi Queen.
Oh, Them Evils. That's another band that I like that is young. And they're kind of metal, hard rock, kind of an edge, that kind of stuff. I like them. Oh, Voices of Extreme. I really enjoy those guys. It's a three-headed band. You know those guys? Voices of Extreme?
I don't know those. But I was thinking of, I'm sure they're fantastic.
Put it like this way, at least.
I'm sure they're fantastic.
There we go.
But the other one that I was going to mention was a band called 10 Years.
Oh, okay.
A newer band.
10
Pretty cool.
Years.
Pretty
Okay.
cool. Called 10 Years. Not 10 years after. They're an old band.
All right, so what do we got going this weekend so folks can come out here and get it done?
You know what? We're excited. It's our 12th anniversary here. We've been here 12 years at Acura of Pembroke Pines. And in those 12 years, we've sold more new Acura models than any other dealership in the Southeast United States. So we're pretty excited. I'm very proud to say that. And the deals are pretty amazing. What Acura has done is given us all kinds of tools to make all kinds of deals for all kinds of people with all kinds of situations. I mean, whether you're looking to lower your payment, get into a new car, trade in a car of another brand.
90 days, no payments.
We've got 90 days, no payments. We've got
$750 off
for the first responders. You're a nurse. You're a medical professional. You're a military program, a graduate program. There's all kinds of additional monies, and these can be stacked. I mean, you're a nurse that just graduated, and you're in the military. You can get all three of those programs.
That's amazing.
They have a loyalty program with lots of money, additional money savings for that customer that's getting into a new car. They're already in an Acura.
Right.
They're already in an Acura, and also conquest for competitive brands. If you wanted to, maybe stick with that BMW or that Mercedes Benz or that Lexus really isn't what it used to be. You want to get into a newer car,
Sure.
and you want to get into a sporty luxury car with state-of-the-art technology and top-line safety features. Well, then this is where you want to be.
And Larry, the other thing that I've been telling folks, because you guys have been telling me, this thing's becoming a trend, people shopping from their homes. And
Absolutely.
you're actually delivering the cars now to them now. And they don't have to wait a couple of hours, which is a normal process for any purchase for a car. Now you're waiting at home during the paperwork.
Yeah, correct. I mean, what we're trying to do is make it as easy as possible for people to do business the way they want to do business. Removing all the obstacles, logistics, not a problem. We need to bring the car to you, pick up the tray, take the car to your mom's house, bring the paperwork to your uncle to do the co-sign. Whatever needs to happen, we can make happen. We got the staff to do that. And we got a facility that is sanitized. We've got, we're wearing our masks. We've got cleansers, cleaners. We've got gloves on. We're ready to go. We're ready to go to serve your needs in a germ-free, hassle-free, easy environment.
There you go. The great Larry Schlossberg, baby. Come on down.
Thank you. How great is this? Thank you so much, Mr. O.
Thank you, sir. 10 years, bro. Thank you being an amazing sponsor for us. That is the great Larry Schlossberg. So come on down, buy or lease your vehicles. Come on out. He told you 90 days. So during this whole COVID transition, you know, you can turn down the mic, bro. You can obviously, you know, make the transition and make the payments, and you got a little delay. So whether you're buying or leasing, you got that option here at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines, and make sure you tell them that I sent you. Okay. Let's see what else. King Short says, not metal, but love Greta Van Fleet. You're talking my language, King Short. That's my favorite new band, baby. There's nothing like that. I just saw Greta Van Fleet last September at Red Rocks for 2 nights. And so, yes, my crazy ass has already seen Greta 6 times in a short amount of time, about 2 years now, because it was 2 years ago that I saw them at Rockville. So it's been just over 2 years I've seen them 6 times, man. I'm a huge Greta guy. Love Greta. Does Acura make any fast cars? Yeah, dude. We got some fast cars out here. Come on down. We got mighty fast cars down here. What's wrong with you? We got an NSX, too, if you really want to go really fast. Let's see. What else do we have? Clay Aiken's Christmas album. Now, that's a metal album of all time right there. Game Over 954 says, hard to find. Thanks for all the suggestions. I'm going to check a lot of these out. Some I heard of, some I haven't. R.I.P. Bob Watson. He was great in the Bad News Bears sequel, Breaking Training. Let them kids play. He passed away? I did not know that. Rest in peace, Bob Watson, man. Yes. Let's see. Richard McLean says 5 years clean, but still crazy. Need to finish steps. I don't know. Does that mean drug free or something? Oh, good for you, man. Super Boom Shack says Iron Maiden and Halloween. Okay, but I mean Iron Maiden's not new. Super Boom Shack. He was looking for a new band, but yeah, Bruce Dickinson's got that voice, man. Lots of new death metal bands sound like Cookie Monster. Yeah, I'm not into death metal. I just can't get into it, bro. It just does the screaming dudes do nothing for me. Nothing at all. I can't do anything about that. Let's see. What else do we have here on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, which is 786-322-1105 here on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Hope you guys, by the way, are all out there going to have a nice, safe weekend. Appreciate it as always. It is time to wrap it up here on the show. Thank you all. I appreciate the super chat, folks. Dolphins, Fins in him, Dean G chiming in on the super chat. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it immensely. We thank Bill and Philippe, as always, making it nice and easy for us to broadcast out here. The legend that is Larry Schlossberg in the house, as always, along with the great people at Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines. Nice, amazing people, amazing sponsors. The great Tony Stampone. Tony, grab the mic, bro. Grab the mic before we let him go here. Pump it up there, Bill. Only way they hear him. All right, here we go. How you doing, my brother? Grab the mic so you can stand up. Give him the damn mic. All right. So how much you missing?
What's going on, man?
How much you missing concerts? Because I know you and me. You know,
my God.
Because you and I run into each other at concerts like all the freaking time.
I don't know when that's coming back. I don't know if that's coming back anytime soon.
I don't. I know I won't go to one till next year at least.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out. You know?
Yeah,
it's a new world. It's a different world.
Yeah, yeah. Because like at this point, unless I'm in a box or something, I can't be at the front like I like to be with everybody else, all bunched up on top of each other.
Well, I got a new 85-inch TV.
Ooh,
so I just sit in front of that.
Ooh, nice.
That's like being in the front without having to stand up.
Oh, this weekend, okay, today it starts on Prince's YouTube channel. They're airing for the next 3 days, 1985 Purple Rain Tour in Syracuse.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Cool. And I just read this story. Queen, starting today at 2 o'clock, they will air a Freddie Mercury tribute concert. And that tribute concert had Bowie, George Michael, Annie Lennox, Elton John, Guns N' Roses, Robert Plant, Metallica, Liza Minnelli, Def Leppard, Seal, Roger Daltrey, and many
more.
more.
Where are we going to see that? Where's that?
That you'll see on Queen's YouTube channel.
Wow.
Yeah, so both today for this weekend. So if you got an 85-inch television, my brother.
So YouTube's really the platform where a lot of that stuff is, right?
You haven't done this yet?
Yeah, I have. I have somewhat.
My brother, any band you like,
Is
just
there.
put there and put live.
Boom, done.
And it'll pop up. And I've been doing that for months now. Since I've been at home, that's been my concert getaway.
Yeah.
Just going to
makes sense.
find just bands playing all. I mean, it doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah, the
60s
library's
bands.
endless.
It's endless. If I want to go see Cream, those stuff on Cream. If I want to go see the Yardbirds, I can do that. Greta Van Fleet. Doesn't matter, bro. It's awesome. I was watching Greta Van Fleet play White Room yesterday from Cream.
I'm going to get consumed with that. I've been nibbling at it, but not to the extent of, and then just light bulbs going off in my head right now. That library's massive.
Right.
Everything's there.
I just want to see Bruce Springsteen. Boom.
Boom, there.
And you're just going to see a whole bunch of Springsteen
Wow.
at the Hall of Fame. Whatever. I've watched the Prince at the Hall of Fame like 4 or 5 times already in the last couple of weeks.
How cool is that?
Because it's just a great moment when he's with Tom Petty and all these guys jamming.
And what an artist.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's sick. But that's what I'm telling you. If you got an 85-inch television, my brother, this weekend, and they take them off YouTube after. They're not available after.
Oh, that's interesting.
You only get to watch those concerts this weekend, and then
Wow.
they pull them. So don't forget.
That's smart. I won't.
I know you love music
Thanks for the
like
heads
I
up,
do,
buddy.
Yeah, I always got your back, man. So
Good seeing you, man.
good to
Everybody's
see you.
safe. We're selling cars.
Yes.
All
yes.
the dealerships are nice and clean. Everybody got masks on. We're
I
trying
know.
to do the right thing.
Yeah, everything was
Coming
great
to your
at
house. If we need
Toyota.
to come to your house. We'll
Over
come to
here,
your house.
I know.
Whatever we got to do.
You're amazing. You're amazing.
Good
Tony,
chatting.
thank you, my brother. You got it. The great Tony Stampone. Oh, look out. The super chat is blowing up as we close the show. Game over 954 chiming in on the super chat. We love you. Julius 305.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Totally awesome.
Thank you. Julius 305 on the super chat. Thank you. Cody Douglas sends us a sticker. I like those stickers on the super chat. Alexa V. Alexa, you send us a sticker. Very cute. Thank you very much. Tommy Italian 305 also chiming in on the super chat.
I know that, dude. Where'd you get this?
Super chats.
Oh, gnarly. Awesome. Totally awesome.
Very kind, all of you chiming in on the super chat. That is very, very nice of you there. We were wrapping it up, and people chimed in late there. Thank you so much, man. Again, appreciate it to Bill, Philippe, obviously Larry Schlossberg, Tony Stampone, all the amazing people out here that make it nice and easy for us to broadcast for the last 10 years. here at Craig's Inn. Great people, I'm telling you. If you're looking for an Acura, you want to buy or lease one, they've got the certified pre-owns. Come on out here and tell them that Big O sent you. Appreciate all of you out there chiming in, supporting us, downloading, all of it. Thank you. Great work, as always. And stay safe out there.
You're not doing Sirius this weekend, bro?
Yes, I am. We're on tomorrow morning, 8 to 11, rocking and rolling on Channel 82 on Sirius. You guys be good out there. Thank you, as always.
Stay safe.
Yes.
Have a good weekend, guys and girls.